In the last episode of Metric's Dungeon. The duo, having just defeated Porthos, are being questioned by Commander Lenara of the Utara. She is in no mood for Winston and Eduardo's usual routine. After what appears to be a wrinkle in the fabric of space-time itself...
Wait, what am I rolling? Am I rolling 12 d20s?
Oh my god, sorry.
Yeah! Whoa, yeah!
An acute battle of wits occurs between Winston and Lenara. Having had enough of Winston's silver tongue, Lenara hands him a Sibylline gem and a deadline. Winston must report in for debrief in 1 week's time. As the duo explore the area, Winston struggles with a case of anosmia, and Eduardo discovers a cursed fire filled with desiccated corpses. Whilst the party investigates the area, Lenara discreetly starts drawing runes in the dirt, summoning an unknown being. A humanoid creature appears. Ozark seeks his summoner. Eduardo attempts to parley, and in doing so incurs the wrath of Ozark's rage.
Hail and well met.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, that's a bad idea.
That's a terrible idea.
Oh, it's bleeding. Oh,
a trail
boy.
of blood flows right towards you.
Turning those he loves into enemies.
Who does that look like?
Belbert's family?
Oh no, this might affect Barry's battling ability.
Hey, guys.
Bathed in flame, he assaults the group. Eduardo's attempts to help the party only seem to add to their woes. Apparently only he doesn't know that fighting fire with fire is a bad idea.
You made everyone do fire
And you
damage.
made everyone fire weapons.
Fucking hell.
Why, man? Why? I like to learn my
Twice
lesson. I know.
now.
I learned my lesson for the
I
poison.
even fixed your weapons so you wouldn't be able to do it. And you did it anyway.
He's like, hey, this guy's on fire. I should probably give everyone else fire weapons.
Despite Eduardo's best efforts, Lenara manages to immobilize Ozark, giving Eduardo the opportunity to capture his essence with one of the diamonds provided by Parthen. Although Eduardo's conscience may have matured, his sensibilities have not.
You really know how to buckle my beans.
What does that mean?
I don't know. See, I don't...
With the battle being won, Lenara enlists the party's assistance in searching for any remaining slaves. During their search, they discover that the corpse fire contained dozens of victims, all of whom were drained of their very essence. Eduardo imbibes the flesh of the immolated slaves and suffers no pain, almost enjoying the process. Images of brutal slavery fill his mind, and amongst the torturous scenes he vaguely recognizes some of the figures. Winston makes a startling discovery while examining Ozark's remains. The fiend carried a blade nearly identical to his. As Winston searches his mind, he is bombarded by memories of ornate enchanted swords carried by members of his extended family. All of these weapons had a name that carried immense power.
Winston and Eduardo seek a greater understanding of the weapon wielded by Ozark. As Eduardo handles the weapon, he is filled with visions of ancient times and the sudden feeling of a failed virtue. Eduardo investigates Winston's sword and immediately feels a sensation of encouragement, compassion, and overall sensation of familial love. The party discover a stone hatch of exceptionally sturdy construction that surely leads to captive slaves. Winston recognizes that the amulet Lenara gave him is a device used to travel to one of the monoliths. Immense magical power is necessary to control such an arcane device, more power than any simple mercenary group should have. Parthen contacts the party and congratulates them on their exceptional work, rewarding them with powerful magic drawn from Kavar's very essence. They use this newfound power to cleanse the Chamber of Undead Essence. The party decide to return to Balar to investigate the events that propelled them into Kavar's service. Jetro seeks assistance with a rather mundane but fulfilling task, escorting the town orphans to the farmstead the party cleared several weeks earlier for Robin and Anne. Jetro informs the duo that Liam seeks their presence. Liam, the militia leader, informs Eduardo and Winston that Penelope has refused to leave Kenneth's shop, making it impossible for him to protect the town by destroying the monolith that resides in the basement. And this is where our heroes are, edging ever closer to the truth, thwarting all that works to veil it. But still, the truth lies hidden. What happens next? Find out this week on Metric's Dungeon.
Hello, everybody. Greetings and salty stations.
What is with the audio
What
lag?
is going on with that?
Are you playing the video? Yeah, you are. There you go. That's what I thought you were doing.
Nope. That stopped.
Yeah, you're still doing it over there, bro.
Got it. There we go. Hey.
Fuck
There
it.
we go. That's a little bit of audio feedback for you. Barry on the controls here.
There's
And
no
that's
audio
why
feedback.
nothing's
We've got it
gone right.
muted. So yeah,
Yeah, no.
you've just like admitted to something that didn't actually happen.
audio feedback from like another video playing in the background.
It's for us though, not for them.
Yes. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Technical Stormers. This is Barry and Chris reporting live.
There's actually 0 issues. All of them are in Barry's mind.
My hands are very nice and cold.
I know, and yours are really, your head's really like sloppy and
Hot
moist.
and clammy.
Ugh.
Delicious.
This is what happens when I leave for 2 weeks. Barry
It's so
thinks that things are going wrong, but everything's actually fine.
I'm like, sitting here like, oh, God. And everything's perfect.
Fucking hell.
Hi.
Hi, Andrew Roberts. Drive safely. Drive safely, young man. Oh, dear. We have Metric Dunn on the line. I think he is probably muted, though. So we'll introduce him in just a second. I just wanted to say, hey, guys.
Hello, everybody.
I missed everybody. Oh, my gosh. It's
missed you
been
too.
crazy with work. Have you been handling the stream?
Yeah, well, not bad, I think.
Doing alright?
Yeah, I've been playing some Bioshock with the guys.
Yeah.
Played a little bit of some scary stuff, Resident Evil. That was a little bit scary for me.
Which one did you play? The very first one?
Yeah, the HD remake.
That's so good.
Yeah.
How is the remake? Is it a noticeable jump in graphics?
Huge.
Yeah.
Absolutely huge.
That's cool. I like when things are remastered in a way where the game's still the same, but it just makes it palatable for your eyes now.
Yeah,
That's like the main thing.
I don't understand what these 12 polygons are doing. That's more like, yeah. It was quite good.
Oh, that's crazy. Any reason why you have that on the screen?
No, I don't think we've got... there we go. Perfect.
Thanks,
Barry
Andrew.
in control, unfortunately.
Fucking hell. We got Barry on the decks. Barry.
Barry on the deck. Boop, boop. Oh, sorry, I muted it. That's what it's more like.
Oh my god. That's exactly what's happening. Now, I think James is actually here. Metric's done. You might need to... I can't remember how we actually bring him in. It's been a while.
Yes. How about if he talks?
I'm pretty sure if you just press... Yes, I think if you press desktop audio, he'll come back in.
Boop.
Metric, don't know you there.
There he is. Hello, we hear you.
Hey, bud. How are you, man?
Oh, yeah, I didn't want to interrupt the intro, so I was keeping dead silent until I was breathing away from the mic. I had my mic muted on my end, and you had me muted. So I was like, all right, just in case someone forgot to mute me.
That's so funny. You know, like, I'm glad you did that because it's very, very often that we either forget to or continue to mute people exactly when they're not meant to be muted.
If you didn't tell me to unmute that.
I could just imagine my beard rustling against the mic.
Everyone's like, what's that? What's going on?
How is there static on a stream? I don't understand.
Oh my gosh. So, we are going to be playing Metric's DUNNgeon all of the time. So, Metric Dunn has been putting a lot of effort into condensing down a bit of the story to do a big season finale for us. And then that's going to give all of us some breathing room so that he can develop the next part of the story so that we can play some different games because I'm not going to have the time required to come every week.
Yeah.
And really, I think this story lends to kind of doing it every week if we're going to be doing it. So, yeah, I've just got so much work on at the moment and so much travel for work that, just being here every Tuesday has been very difficult, unfortunately. But...
You've basically... Oh, sorry.
There you go.
You basically hit the nail on the head with what I was going to say before. Was if I speed you along a bit, I won't leave out any story, but I'll just move things along a little. But it shouldn't be a problem. I think I've paced it very well. But if I need to move you along, I'll let you know.
Yeah, that's all good. I mean,
right.
the good thing is like
right.
we can go slightly over tonight as long as everyone's comfortable. So that's not too much of a problem. Like we can go to 10:15, 10:30 if we need to. Like that's actually fine. Like it's all organized. We're all good to go. I don't think Barry has to be anywhere. Hopefully,
No, just in bed later.
he's got a very important 10:15 appointment. No, he doesn't.
Important, Christopher.
I don't think Barry's ever had a
I
very
imagine
important
it's something
appointment.
ridiculous, like a
Sorry, I'm really going to get to this
something
meeting.
ridiculous. like a haberdashery or something.
Yeah,
Like,
that's right. That's right.
You have to get a fancy hat.
I really,
Do my underwear.
I actually really have to get to this hat store. They close at 10:15. They open at 10:10. It's a very, very exclusive store.
It's a very busy 5 minutes for him.
That's right.
Chris, I want to be 6 foot for once in my life, and I need a top hat.
Like a 2 meter tall top hat. Like, I am the biggest man with my hat.
You're walking past me, and I'm looking straight up at the.
Hey Bettina,
Hello,
welcome.
Bettina.
Welcome.
Salty Stations.
Salty Stations to you. I love that we have a beautiful community and we all have little catchphrases and stuff that we use. I think it's quite nice. I've missed everybody. I've really missed everybody. So I'm glad to be back. It's been very lonely going out and doing work and then coming back after work and like not having like a fun stream to do. So I'm really looking forward to this, and I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I might be okay for next Tuesday as well. That's just maybe opened up, perhaps, question mark. So we will see, which is going to be awesome. And we'll just like play some fun, like shit games where we just like don't even have to fucking think.
Can we play shit games?
We can play shit games. We can get everybody to submit their shittest games.
Welcome to Shit Week.
Shit week, like, and we'll do it. Like, we'll get people to like make games, like just whatever they want. Like, we'll just like play like pen and paper, like fucking tic-tac-toe and shit, just like whatever. Who cares? Like, doesn't matter.
Multiplayer tic-tac-toe, like 4 players.
That's right. Yeah, we'll play simultaneous
Yeah.
strategy tic-tac-toe. Like everyone's placing at the same time.
I need more resources to make my next X.
We'll find things that have been like well established and work really well, and we'll make them worse.
We'll just make them awful, like try to cross genres. Or
Oh
something.
my god. Okay, so I know that Metric Dun is really ready to get into it. So we're gonna load up the game. Have you invited us? Of course you have. Of course you have.
Let me just
I'm
accept your
I'm imagining for shit week, you've got to do like tic-tac-toe with Connect 4.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't fucking work. It doesn't work at all.
That's right. Or we have to play Scrabble. Crabble. It'll be called Crapple. There you go. We'll play Crapple, which is basically
Scrabble with apples.
it's Scrabble.
Station-related words.
Crabble. Yeah, that's
Crabble.
good. I like that. That's actually a lot smarter than what I was going to say. I was going to say you play Scrabble, but you can only use Connect 4 pieces. Doesn't make any sense.
Yellow is not a word. I'm sorry. Oh shit!
Oh, was it you guys at the meetup where we were wondering whether eating a person was kosher? Was that?
Oh yeah, we said that when we did the Go game.
Technically, it's kosher.
Oh.
If you ignore
Oh.
the rule of technically, I think it's kosher. I went over it and I spoke to a friend of mine, and it technically might be kosher.
I feel
Because
like
if you don't,
whatever the
there's
rule is that we
rules
have to
around
ignore
respecting the
it seems
the dead
important.
and things like that. But by technicality, eating a person is not, I believe, is technically kosher because there's no rule in the code, like in the kosher code. There's no rule against it.
Huh,
It's
gotcha.
there are other rules against
Just like
desiccating
generally,
bodies,
yeah.
but there are no rules against eating them technically.
If you ignore the rules against defiling bodies, you can defile bodies. It's fine.
It's fine. Like yeah,
Yeah.
like, if you just ignore the rule that says you can't murder people, then just go nuts.
Yeah,
Just,
you're allowed
Well,
to.
what if
Just
they
have
died of
fun with
natural
it.
Causes?
Yeah, natural
well,
knife insertion.
that's how it's always going to look, Metric Dun.
Get smoke old grandpa up. That'll be delicious.
Oh, hello.
Oh, by the way.
Now ready?
Oh, here we go. Look at
Oh
that.
wait, no, you got to go to the other one.
Oh,
The other
no!
one. Oh, here we are.
And we're together again.
That's right.
There we go.
Man, we are playing fast and loose tonight.
That's the last time. Always loose. That's the last time touching that mouse for a while. Woo, lucky everybody.
Okay, all right. Here we go. Oh, Andrew. That's pretty funny. Should we just
What's
submit
that?
a list of EA games for next week?
Mass Effect Andromeda. Hell yeah, let's play.
Yeah, let's play some Andromeda.
That
Bam.
is a terrible.
Let's
game.
play some Battlefront 2. I'm sure the servers will be open.
Oh.
I'm sure there'll be plenty of free spots.
Yeah.
Although that game's actually still, despite all the bullshit, actually been fairly popular,
Oh
hasn't it?
wow, I don't know. I haven't really heard anything about it.
I refuse to purchase it
Same.
because if I buy it to make fun of it and like put it on the stream and make fun of it, I still give them money.
The CEO's like, oh, it's doing so well. Doesn't matter that I hate
It's
it.
like, we'll just double down on this like fucking loot box microtransaction bullshit. Yeah, no thanks.
Well, yeah, Shadow of War is removing them in June. Their entire loot box
really?
stores
Wow.
will be removed in June.
That's a win
Which
for
still
the
doesn't-
people.
That's another marketing campaign. You better buy up quick before they're gone.
Well, yes, I still don't think I'm going to buy it until I know for sure it's out. They've even admitted it affected the balance of the game and the end game, which was a big gripe. A lot of people said, "Oh, you're trying to steal from us and force us to play this huge grind to get the true ending, right? That requires elite orcs, which therefore requires us to buy. And they're saying they basically admitted that and said we're reworking the entire end game.
Yeah, I didn't
Our
like
art
when you
will
got to
remove it all.
when you got to Act 2 and you like they started introducing like the loot boxes became much more crucial. I didn't like that. Hi, Ellie-Fish. Hello, welcome,
Hello,
welcome.
Salty Stations,
Greetings to Salty
Ellie-Fish.
Stations.
Welcome to the stream.
Welcome to the stream.
Stream.
Welcome, stream.
Sorry, it's been a while.
We're just,
This is a wonderfully. I think this attitude will do us well tonight. It'll be good for us.
good to see you, Baz. I'm just glad everyone.
be back.
We're all here. We're all together. Okay, so we're on the game. We should probably start.
I guess.
Is there any other bullshit you want to get out of the way before we start?
I think I'm done.
Okay, all right, we're good to go.
So I do my mating
Okay.
call.
All right. Let me become
Okay.
Winston.
So. All right. So
This stream is a personal friend and close relative of mine.
roll, Chris.
Okay, you take
so
the lead.
as we remember from last time, and last time we spoke, the party was in sort of a crossroads of sort. They had a few serious things going on. They had to go back to Lomas. They had to investigate some happenings. They just picked up a very unusual but also very familiar weapon that appeared to be a corrupted version of one of the weapons that the Utara carry.
Which is very interesting.
Yes, and they've also been told by Liam that the Utara have taken up residency in Perot's grocery, as they are maintaining a hold on the magical monolith.
That's right.
And he wants to fill the basement with cement.
That's right, to get rid of the monolith. That something terrible happened.
Yeah,
with.
sometimes people pop up from there and just like, break boxes and kill everyone in a room. Like,
All
he's
sorts of horrible things.
got to be
happen.
really careful.
Yeah, just you never know.
Gotcha.
Yep, and he's asked you to speak to Penelope because you have a rapport with her. He wants her gone and all of her people out of Bula.
Okay.
Awesome.
And I assume we agree to that.
You agreed to speak to her.
Okay.
You both seemed rather wary about filling in the
Yeah.
monolith.
Yeah. It just didn't seem like it was our right to necessarily do that. But let's go and have a chat with her.
Absolutely. Just a really quick side note, sorry. If you have a look at the back of the room,
Oh, me?
yes, if you go towards the
Wait,
back
let me
of the
just find out how to do that
room, there you
again.
go. And see the man on the bottom right of the screen? See us wearing a taco hat, a very cheesy taco hat. Delicious.
They call him Burrito Bob.
He's an escort.
Yeah.
He's an escort.
Yes, Burrito Bob the escort. That's his nickname around town.
The
That's right.
fearsome
He's
warrior.
Spicy lover.
He's always carrying a jar of honey.
Oh, you know what that's used for?
Oh my gosh.
Looping
Okay.
him up for battle, because that's what I think escorts do. I heard he took down 3 men at once. I'm like, wow, impressive.
Yes, he's always known for having a
Took down
climb.
3 men at once? I believe the term down is correct, but I
Yeah,
don't know.
down 3 men.
Yeah.
That's
All
right.
All right.
He always focuses on the climax of a fight.
Let him dry, he says. Oh,
We're
fuck.
12 years old.
I know.
We're 12-year-olds.
We're literally 12-year-olds.
It's wonderful.
You sure it
It's
should just be
wonderful
called
that
12
we've maintained
Stormers?
Oh,
So,
shit.
as you go to leave,
Yes.
you see sitting on the chair near the door, it's Dodger,
Dodgy
who
boy.
you have a little bit of a history with. And he waves over to you and he says, I have word from Parthen.
Well, hopefully it's more than one fucking word.
Hey.
Hey, Dodger.
I need those clouded diamonds.
Oh.
Oh, yes. Very well, Dodger. Thank you. Anything else we can do
Right.
for you, good sir?
You're
We
you're
know he's
passing them
right.
over to him. Wink, wink. You're handing them over to him.
Are we passing them to
says-
him, to Dodger?
Yeah. You can just chuck them on the ground. He'll take them. It's
What?
not a problem.
What assurances do we have that he will pass them through?
Do you want to do a roll?
No, we can trust him, can't we?
I think so, but
Well,
Let's do it.
he did. Well, you can ask him something pertinent if you want. There's certain things, if he's one of Parthen's men, he'd know.
okay.
Do you want to ask that?
I'm a bit concerned because in his name it actually has the word dodge.
Well, maybe
So-
ask him.
Dodger. What would you know about Parthen? His age? His favorite color.
he puts his hands up to his ear and he goes tickle 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 tickle.
Oh, yep, there you go.
Put it down there, partner.
Diamond's be gone.
He's cool.
He's cool. He's got this. They're worth less now anyway.
Yeah.
We've already got like $20 million.
Yeah. So, did you chuck yours down, Eduardo?
My
on,
one.
mate.
Oh, whoa,
Come on,
sneaky.
mate.
And what it was like, he's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. All right. He goes, thank you. Parthen has basically felt a disturbance in the force.
Ooh.
There's an old path with
Oh.
some ruins that runs from the back of Balar all the way around to the farm. More or less, it's the path, the winding path. Because as you guys remember from earlier on, Balar was merely just a district of a much larger city,
That's right.
and it's sort of what remains. Very few villages would have a cobbled stone path and all these sorts of things. They just have a dirt path. So basically he says, we're not sure what it is, but it's something serious, and you're the two for the job.
We got it.
Always ready to
Two
help.
of two of our most recent recruits were preoccupied with something else, but one of them's going with you.
Oh.
Roger and I will make sure the route to the farm is okay and make sure the girls get there with the kids. You're going to take DUNNgeon and Anne.
DUNNgeon.
And then.
Dodger, you have my sword.
And my swords.
He looks at you rather dryly. Enough with the tomfoolery.
Do you need some eye drops for that dry look?
He seems to be a very stern dwarf. He doesn't seem to. He's got sort of scars all up and down his throat and his chest.
I remember I think he got angry at us
Not,
like once much
He
earlier.
absolutely did. Let's play
Yeah,
it
he's not one for tomfoolery.
That's why him saying tickle tickle was so funny.
cool. Yeah, he's just like a stern dude.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like him at all. That's just proof that he knows who Parthen is.
That's why I was like, Diamond, here you go. Alright, shall we?
We shall.
We have to go on a path that Pathon told us to go down.
Oh,
We're taking the path to
Basically,
Pathon.
yeah. So basically, you've got two tasks at the moment. You've got to go speak to Penelope, and then you've got to take that path.
Alright, we're gonna go
Roger
to
and Dodger
Penelope
will
first.
see the girls back to the farm.
Gotcha.
sounds good.
Thanks, Dodger.
All right.
Thanks, Dodger.
Be gone!
You know, I heard that Elven escort also took the dirt road, but I don't know. Must be good. Around the back, right? Yeah, that's what he said too.
Barry, get prepared. You can't make those jokes soon.
Oh,
You may or may not be having an adult reckoning.
oh shit!
Or that might be season 2.
And Watto grows up.
So, you as you walk out, you notice there's a wagon parked out in front of Perot's, and it seems to be a wagon that has a bunch of medical things on it.
Ooh.
And all of a sudden, from down near Ferdinand's surgery, you hear a bit of a calamity.
Ooh.
And out of Ferdinand's house walks a man in rather nice clothes and goes, "Great Scott! This isn't where I parked my wagon."
Where is he? Let's go have a look.
Ferdinand looks rather confused,
I
and he
know.
goes,
I know who
"Where
this
is
sounds
it?
like. Look!
Oh my God!
Look, it's,
Where's Marty?
it's Doc Brown!
Where's Marty?"
It's Doc Brown!
Ferdinand points over to the dog, the golden lab. He goes, "There he is." And Doc Brown seems to calm down considerably.
Marty is here.
I think I understand what he's talking about.
Ah,
Christopher.
that's right. Yes,
And he slowly sits down next to Ferdinand, looking much calmer.
Eduardo and Barry have no recollection of who Doc Brown is.
He doesn't look very brown.
Someone may or may not have made a request for something like that to happen, and I may or may not have granted it with knowledge that I needed a side character.
Oh my god, that's amazing. I'm guessing that it was Andrew Roberts because he said, "Yay!"
It might have been someone else.
Ooh.
Whoever Taffy 525 is on.
That's Andrew Roberts, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought so. Yeah, I wasn't sure.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Yeah.
I'm gonna still...
But, yeah, you can investigate that or not. That's entirely up to you. But you do have pressing matters with Penelope.
Well, perhaps we can come back to that if we have time.
Yeah.
Which direction is Penelope in?
She's at Perot's Grocery. It's directly across from the inn. The building directly across.
Where the wagon was.
Yeah.
I yell at the dog, run for it, Marty!
I go to pat Marty and I say, good doggy.
Oh, yeah, you don't know. You don't know what's happening.
Good doggy.
There's so many.
There's so
If
many
I had
references.
the time, there would be so many jokes I would make
So
right
many
now.
references.
So many movie references.
I quickly glance at Doc Brown and say, where's Einstein? And then I walk off.
Oh.
He looks mildly confused, like he has a head injury.
Alright, I'm going to walk down to the grocery.
Okay.
I whispered to Marty, who's Weinstein? And then run away.
Wait, there's a sign.
Oh, well, both are topical.
Let's
There's a
leave
sign
that
that
one alone.
says...
What?
There's a sign that says, Harriet Perrott missing. If seen, please alert Kenneth Perrott. Reward for her safe return. Just saying.
That's cool.
I don't know if we have time
Yeah,
for her
so
safe return.
you remember that there was that had been mentioned a few times before Kenneth met his untimely demise.
Hmm. Sorry, Kenneth. Okay.
I don't think you'll ever know.
To the grocery.
It appears from the outside that the Utara have not done anything with. There's still spice bags, and everything seems to be being a bit wilted now, and the beans are sort of becoming rock hard again, and all that sort of stuff. You know, it's all.
Yeah, they are.
It's,
I've dealt with hard beans before.
I grabbed some herbs.
Okay, great.
Fuck it up.
All right, so you go into Perot's Grocery.
Oh, good. Andrew Roberts has made it home safely. He's watching without crashing.
Awesome.
Thanks, Ellie Fish, for the representation. Guys, you can share it on your personal Facebook pages. That is the easiest way to help out the show with a $0 investment, is to just share it on your Facebook page, because then it'll reach your friends, not just our friends.
Either that or go to your nearest road and just yell about it a bit.
Yeah,
'Cause that's
just like
free.
go, just yell out www.youtube.com
/the Gamestormers, one word.
Oh, Peter's
man.
here. Oh
At
no,
least-
not the beans.
Yes, Peter the Beans.
Oh man. Okay, so
Hey, Pete.
you're greeted with what looks to be somewhat ransacked. They've definitely been through a few things. Nothing from your last glance from when you're in here seems to be out of place too heavily. Everything just seems to be shuffled around, and the militia are guarding the top level.
Yeah, I saw
They've
that.
locked down. Yeah, they've locked down the whole area under Liam's command.
Yes, and all these crates are locked as well, Eduardo. You have more than enough money.
Speaking about crates that are locked,
I'm of noble descent, and you have like 3 times the money I do.
it's because I'm a dick.
That is accurate. So we have a bit of a glance around. Is there anything of note that we see?
Okay, 2 of you make some perception.
Oh,
God, I almost made the same 12.
okay.
Okay, that close. Okay, both of you make some perception rolls.
Okay.
that's a.
All right,
very
come
good.
on. Lucky higher than 8. Ooh, 18.
eight.
That's really good. I'm feeling perceptive.
My eyes turns to raisins.
All right. Yeah, Eduardo, you notice nothing. It basically looks almost identical to you as it did before.
Nothing to see here, folks.
However, Winston, you notice that there was about just to your right, there was a few weapons there, and on the main counter there's about 3 weapons you think that are missing, maybe 4.
Oh no! Should I ask Eduardo about them?
Everything is as it was, Christopher. Winston.
What appears to be a sword, an axe, and a longbow. You think that's
what's
what
missing?
you remember them being,
Huh.
and they're clearly missing because there are rather valuable. There's a rather valuable antique Zis sword
Yeah, I can
over
see
there
it,
that you would think would be missing if it wasn't, if it was just a value issue.
Yeah, and all this,
And
a
there's
lot of the stuff
plenty
is
of-
unidentified, quite high value.
And a lot of the stuff is just still there.
Huh.
Nothing really looks any different.
Very specifically stolen.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And as you're walking around, a young woman at the counter yells out, "Who be thee?"
I be Eduardo. No, I don't. I be Winston. I could roll a persuasion.
Yeah. Please do.
Well, you want to.
I be your father. See, I know you very well.
Be careful, I'll make you both roll.
Oh, Jesus.
But
That sword
as
was
she
a
goes,
close
"Oh."
one.
She goes, "Oh, I recognize you from the camp. You're the two that were working with Penelope, aren't you?"
Yes, that is us.
We are.
And yes, the two of you remember she was the smith that you she was with the archivist.
That's right.
Yep.
when
That's
you were
right.
at yeah, she was just there working on some gear and gave you some supplies.
Smithing about.
Smith and Wesson.
And she says, we've been going through all the equipment, all the goods, and basically says everything that we find, we found some interesting things. Some things that belong to us that shouldn't have been here.
Interesting. Is-
Oh, go on.
I was going to ask her. No, she can finish her thought. I won't interrupt.
No, she's going to say, we're basically anything of value that you see, any potions, scrolls, feel free to take anything you need. We're well supplied. And we have taken ownership of this property under...
Come on, man.
saw that out of the corner of my eye.
It's taking the fucking
And-
piss.
We have
Thank you.
taken ownership. Basically, we've taken ownership under Guelafran law. So what you remember is House Goran is very powerful, and they are basically the law in Isidore. This is amazing. You are missing that. You missed that militia woman's head by millimeters with like 4 of those patients.
Oh,
If
good,
they
good
had
to
a
hit
few-
her.
Yeah,
I would
you've
have
done.
initiated combat.
You know the amount of times that
You were
you've.
millimeters. Like, I mean, like the hood on her head with,
Oh, that's great. He knew, Eduardo knew what he was doing. Just like, and the mage's just like,
Yeah, the guy's just like fucking ducking and shit.
no, they didn't move at all. Like,
Oh, apparently we have 12 stormers here. Greetings,
Hello,
everybody.
everybody.
Greetings. Bettina says we are well supplied, and I assume she takes that cadence.
yeah.
Okay,
a touch of the emperor there.
that's right. Now you
Yes.
stop taking all the shit. She was being polite. She didn't say you could fucking have everything.
She said, take whatever you like.
Oh, that's
I
true.
like everything.
Well, she listed
you.
potions and scrolls.
That's
Take
right.
anything you need because we're well supplied in that sense. Yeah. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Eduardo runs around and finds more
Uh,
spots.
Okay. Eduardo, do a perception roll for me.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh no. 14. Ooh. Oh,
You
success.
notice that on top of the counter, on top of the shelving unit, there's a huge water resistance potion.
Ooh.
Free for the taking.
Oh no.
All right. So
Where are you going?
I was going to just try and take the potion before you.
the militia defender says you're cleared to go through. There's nothing really that valuable in there. There's a couple of chests, a few love letters. Nothing particularly valuable.
Eduardo shouldn't read those. He might get a bit excited for the first time.
Oh yes. Also, Chris,
Yeah.
make a perception roll.
I shall.
Actually, you too, Eduardo.
Sure thing.
Higher than 14. Ooh.
Wow. Okay. Eduardo, you see something familiar, some things that are familiar from things that a certain uncle showed you as a child to sort of help you connect with your heritage.
Oh, has he found a Playboy
And-
magazine?
I don't get it.
And Winston, you identify that a female elf definitely lived here.
Gotcha.
Oh.
Interesting.
I'm very concerned about it.
I'm going to make some toasted cheese.
Oh, yum.
See if that actually works.
Make me.
Oh, what?
That's ridiculous.
Oh, I don't want to live in this world anymore.
I'm
If
done
you, can't,
here.
if you can't make bread and cheese into toasted cheese, that's really upsetting. What if I was to... What if I was to...
You might not know
make
the
a note.
recipe yet.
Make a note to the devs.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Toasted cheese or bust.
I've combined some carrots and apples. No, that didn't work. What if I just, like, cook some apples? I can't even cook apples by themselves. No, this oven's broken.
Can't cook apples. So what did I find that was that jogged my memory?
Playboy.
No, you just saw a few little curios, like the way the spices are stacked, the way, like the little carvings on the spice rack, and that just reminded you of things that your uncle Nap Nap had shown you as a child.
Gotcha. That's interesting.
And Winston, you clearly noticed not only the smell of a traditional elven herb mix, but you also noticed a lot of the carvings on the table and a lot of the way things are organized fit with elven culture.
That's interesting.
Sounds like this and elven stuff.
Well, I should mention that to you because I haven't transferred that knowledge. Eduardo,
Yes.
you're an elf.
Yes.
I've noticed a lot of elven smells coming from in here, like some herbs.
Oh, I'm
things like
sorry.
that. Things that I learnt about when I was young, but you might know more about them yourself.
Interesting. This things seem familiar. I believe I recall some things from my younger days.
Oh, do we need to get your special boner protection again?
Boner
You need to
protection.
go to your little room.
No, I'm fine this time.
Okay, all right.
I think.
Okay,
All
so
right, so
that means I like
the
you.
Smith says you're free to investigate up here, but Penelope wants to see you downstairs.
okay,
When you're ready.
we should go downstairs and have a look. I'm ready. Oh, this seems like there's a death fog box that's exploded.
Yeah, there was. There's no way to.
No,
They
no,
seem to
I'm
be
actually-
very busy, but
I'm really glad that box is
There's
still
a
there.
lot of blood.
they're not even touching that with a 10-foot pole.
Wow, there's a lot of barrels here from when like a certain heist went off.
That's strange,
And
isn't it?
there's a very certain empty chest right there. There's also still a crate of death fog in there.
Fucking hell.
Let us
Hidden in the
go.
back.
Alright, downstairs we go. Oh my gosh.
All right, you're going downstairs.
Oh,
Beautiful.
I really wish that was a barrel of death fog because then I could take it with me.
You love your barrels and stuff, don't you?
You can actually pick up the crate too.
Oh my gosh.
think-
You shouldn't tell me that.
I believe you can.
Oh, what's going on
Well,
here?
I mean, in certain situations.
The
All right.
wall.
So you slide down the ladder,
Whee!
and there is a considerably
Look at this.
more formidable force of Utara
Mm.
than there was before. It was just Penelope.
Mm.
And now there is definitely something going on. There's at least 2 other Utara that you know of. The gate area seems to have been fortified.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can't see anything else right at the moment. But Penelope sits just across in the little alcove where a bunch of the death fog was stored earlier.
That's interesting. And the death fog is all gone.
Yeah, so I got rid of that.
Oh, we definitely helped dispose of it. At least one of them.
Yes, of course.
Shall we go say hello to Penelope?
I think so.
Alright.
Let's go say hey to Penny.
So this is going to be an interesting conversation.
Hmm.
Well, Matt,
Good evening.
Oh, I'm glad to see you're alive.
we
Thank you, as a we.
we seem to surprise people that way.
I noticed something on the side bench.
I've noticed a lot of things for you.
No. I see that there's a certain sword, a axe, and a bow.
Oh. Do you want to tell me about it somehow?
I can't.
You can't.
Can I try? Can I?
There's something that something that the 2 of you should know.
Yes.
Since the last time you grew in strength, you've noticed you can hear each other occasionally when the other isn't speaking.
Interesting.
And you have developed.
That's why I've been hearing tropical music in my head.
Yes, exactly.
That's where I went to. Under the sea.
Nobody likes the coconut. Everybody loves the pineapple.
I
that sort of thing.
thought I was going insane.
No. You've heard some weird things,
it
I'm sure.
appears you have developed a means of very basic telepathic communication.
Interesting.
Awesome.
Jeez,
It's very basic,
we're becoming
but
kindred
you
spirits.
can relay some level of information. It appears that it is more likely related to the link you have with Partha.
Interesting, okay.
So it's not because we actually give a shit about
No, it's
it.
like Wi-Fi, so we like go through him and you
Well, you're
receive
saying-
my messages.
that's it. They
Does
refer,
Parthen?
the elders refer to it as Bluetooth low energy.
4.2. Does Parthen hear what we're saying?
Wi-Fi through the ground or
Wi-Fi direct.
earthed Wi-Fi. Anyway, go on, please.
Earth
I was just gonna say, does that mean the Parthen can also hear what we're saying?
Yeah,
like
remember
as
he talked to
transmission?
us before. He's previously communicated with us while we went
He
there.
has communicated with you, but you feel him when he's communicating with you. You definitely feel a sensation of someone being there. You have a different sensation when you're just walking around on your own.
Oh, good.
When he's talking to you, you do feel different.
Okay.
It doesn't feel as if he's necessarily watching all the time.
Awesome.
So
All
did
right.
you want to?
So he's not Santa Claus.
Did you want to communicate to me?
I do, absolutely.
I continue just like sort of like bantering with Penelope while you talk to me, so that it's less obvious. You don't have to whisper.
Okay. Hey, Winston, look at me. I'm talking. I'm not moving my mouth.
Oh, fuck me. That's pretty amazing. What's going on?
Thank you. On the right-hand side, just on the left-hand side of Penelope, on her left, do you see 3 items there that were missing from upstairs?
Oh, yes. They match exactly what I noticed to be missing.
Which I also knew about. Thank you for telling me when you noticed. Retcon. Keep that in mind.
I've also noticed there's a pound of flesh there. I feel like we're going to be offered that in just a moment.
All you hear in my head is... I was like, oh god, yeah.
Penelope may notice me wincing. So now I'll continue what I was saying with Penelope outside of this. That's right. Anyways, what were you saying?
Okay, well, she said she's been relayed the information. She's spoken to Lenara and is well aware of your feats on the battlefield, and that you have a meeting in a few days.
Yes, that is true. That is correct. Jeez,
she seems to be keeping
well connected,
rather tight-lipped about that. Yeah. She does sort of make a perception roll.
Okay. Gonna roll some perception. I've been having good rolls so far, but now that I've said that...
Oh, okay.
They will continue.
She looks directly she looks right at the monolith when she says she's been well informed. Whether that was subconscious or not.
Oh, okay.
You're not sure.
I understand.
She appears, as she said it, she looks at it directly. So her eyes dart to it. Her body doesn't, but her eyes dart to it.
Interesting. Well, we know that they can teleport and use that as a means of transportation.
Yeah.
They've sort of hijacked that for their own good.
Yoink.
Okay.
Yes, you gathered last time that they were under the control of at least some of them.
Mm-hmm. So, I just realised when Between said 12 Stormers, she might have been talking about our spin-off show. Maybe.
We're 12-year-olds and she said we are well supplied.
Maybe.
Wink,
Although
wink.
did we say 14 Stormers? I think we said 12.
I think you said 12.
Oh,
yeah.
Bettina. All our hopes and dreams are dashed. Only Bettina is here watching us.
we are 12 years old, and when we say well supplied, we can't help but giggle.
Oh, penises.
I have many potions, if you know what I mean. All right.
So, Penelope.
Yes.
What's this fleshy thing on the table here? Seems very strange to just be sitting right in front of you.
Yes. Well, I've been working on this for a few days. It was actually quite desiccated, and I've been doing a little work with the magi we have here to restore it to an unedible stage.
My eyes light up.
Ding!
And she notices that and goes, "Feel free.
Munch down.
May I?
Mother, may I?
Please do."
Let me prepare the sequence.
Oh wow, the blood on the floor was a really good touch.
So,
Wow,
as
that was a very juicy meal.
as you ingest it, you immediately drift off into a trance, and you see these sort of nameless figures all sort of moving around in this hard to describe sort of almost like a sort of like a shadow realm, like an alternate, like as if you're walking through the normal world but you're invisible.
Mm-hmm.
And as you see this, you see them slowly walking along, and then all of a sudden falling prey to what looks like a heart attack or some sort of aneurysm or something, and then appearing in the real world.
Huh. Like reverse death.
And then you come back to life.
I'm back, bitches. Sorry. It was the meat.
What crude terminology you use, Edwardo?
I sort of quickly tell you what happened, what I saw.
And I reply to that with, well, fuck me.
Yeah. And I say, Penelope, where was this from?
We need to be careful now because we need to have that conversation with Penelope as well about her not being here. I say telepathetically.
That just sounds like you really Don't do that. No, please don't.
It's like, be
So
careful,
pathetically.
please. Come on.
You sound like the turtle off Rocco's Modern Life.
Come on, guys.
Okay, but Penelope goes, oh, yes, that was... we found that amongst some of the stored goods. We didn't understand what it was doing there. It was clearly not jerky or an animal. It was clearly the flesh of a human.
Huh. That's
Interesting.
very odd.
Or possibly an elf. We couldn't quite tell. It was very, very decayed.
Possibly you.
I say to Winston telepathically, should I tell her what I saw?
Oh, maybe.
Cool. My concern is that she's less than good, and I don't know if I should give her the whole truth.
Well, we don't know that for sure.
Penelope has given you no reason
Yeah, absolutely no reason.
at all. She's done nothing but, and not suspiciously. She's always
Yeah,
sort
she's
of...
always like fully enabled us,
She's so scary. Though.
If you,
and she's like a part of my like family heritage in a way.
the
From what I
the
can tell.
person you might be thinking of is Commander Lenara, is the one you were a bit suspicious of last time.
Yeah.
Because she was a little less... She was the very...
She was much more.
I know a bit about you. You're
reports
one of
this and-
ours.
yeah,
What are you
yeah,
doing?
that's right.
Sort of thing.
That's
Like,
right.
more coy. Yeah.
She still scares me though.
Penelope, we have a matter to discuss with you.
Please do.
I will.
I say he will.
We've been instructed by some of the townsfolk to deliver a message. They.
Sorry. That's the way you said it.
The message is, say you know.
Yeah.
I cock my sword and fire.
Like cut your hand on it.
Oh,
God.
fuck.
That's stupid.
Many of the townsfolk are uncomfortable with your presence and occupation down here, and they are asking that you leave. Their will is to block off this cellar completely and entomb the thing that I forgot the name of.
Monolith.
The monolith.
The monorail.
Monorail.
Oops.
She.
What do you think
she
about
sort
that?
of
See?
She looks at you rather calmly and goes, "That won't be a problem.
Oh, okay.
Oh, good.
We'll
It's not better than expected.
I look at him and I'm like, got it covered.
we'll be ready to leave in a few days, and they can do whatever they want with this place."
Okay, that's far less occupied than we thought.
Yeah.
Very well. Penelope, we've noticed you've got a assortment of... Also, thank you. I'll inform them of the news. That's fantastic. They'll be very happy with that. Noticed you've got an assortment of weapons around you. Is there any significance to these, or are they just your favourite weapons?
You should make it that as well. Just...
Ooh.
Oh, nice one.
Ooh, 19
that's-
roll. It's a
yeah.
19 roll. It's the best roll
As-
of the night. Teen.
But don't get too cocky. Let's just hope they stay that way.
Yeah, they've been really good so far.
But as you're saying that, you recognise they're clearly of the same make as your weapon and hers. They have the exact same wolf head,
Huh.
and they're so you ask, but you recognise at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
And
Look at that.
she responds,
So they do.
"These belong to some of our most elite Atara Guard, and somehow they've ended up in this man's shop.
Okay, I'm glad that she was very forthcoming.
The
with that
only way, because she knows you know that you're carrying something special
Yeah,
now, clearly, because it's been awakened to a degree.
and it's been growing with me.
Exactly. So she knows you know. She already knew, but she knows that you are now informed. So she says, and for these to be here, I have no doubt that their owners are either dead or in dire straits."
Okay. See, I trust her.
Yeah, she is very liberal with her information, which is good. That makes me even more cautious. Like she's not cautious.
Yeah, but she continues to say that how they got here, I don't know. We've been magically scrying the entire building. We've been investigating as many possible routes that the monolith has taken, how it got here, was it how it was built, who built it, whether it was transported here directly, and so far we've come up with very little information, but enough that we are pleased that I was able to stabilize Kenneth.
Kenneth.
The guy that died, she was able to revive him
He's alive.
with the help of 2 magi
Wait,
and encase him in stone.
I should be less surprised since Eduardo's died so many fucking times.
Hey.
Yeah, but Kenneth took a Kenneth was enveloped in the stuff. You guys just got a whiff.
You mean
He was enveloped.
dead? Andrew
Yeah,
Andrew has a very good suggestion. Ask Doc Brown who created the monoliths. He may have means to find out.
Okay.
I'm going to ask Penelope a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Penelope, would you mind if Eduardo just cast his eyes over these weapons? He was able to sense something from my weapon and a similar weapon we recovered in the battlefield.
Oh, yeah.
Would that be okay?
She looks at you rather uncomfortably. She goes, only those who are ordained under the Utara may handle these weapons.
May I hold them? And he touched their tits.
I look only... I look no touch. I know the rules.
She says that you can handle them.
Oh, wait,
But,
maybe I should have tried with my persuasive abilities. Penelope, I forgot that I had that. I implore you to reconsider.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, no, these weapons are all of mine. I've dropped them in the store.
Oh, I only get a +12. She must be resilient to these things. Ooh!
Oh, yeah, cool.
Oh, that's actually a natural 20. That's a natural 20. My rolls have been getting better and better.
There was no way you weren't going to get that with a natural 20. So, okay.
Actually, if I get a natural 20, when I say I implore you to reconsider, her only response is allowed to be, okay!
Yeah, I'll reconsider. No. No. And she goes, Eduardo has proven himself trustworthy. Don't go telling anyone.
You can tell by the blood at his feet.
So you can just, if you look at them, we'll describe it that you've touched them, all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you go closer.
I'm
Can you
going
go
to have
closer?
a look at
As
everyone.
close as you can get. And I'll do a little zoom in for cinematic effect.
Ooh,
Okay,
weapon.
so as you lay your hands on them, you basically sort of see the same thing as you saw from that chunk of flesh, but from the opposite position.
Huh.
Ah, okay.
That's interesting.
And it is an elf type creature. It looks like an elf, a very well-dressed elf. So quite like a tribal mask type elf, and it appears to be female.
Okay.
Interesting.
You also, the moment you touch the weapons, you hear sort of like a loud, and Winston hears it as well, sort of a loud, almost like a sort of a deep, almost a hum, but it's a word. And so as you touch them, you hear these words, and you almost think they might be their names,
Okay.
but you can't be sure.
Interesting.
Can I
And
make...
that's all you get.
Gotcha.
Go on.
I was going to say, can I make up what the words are?
Penis.
That's my
Actually,
sexual
you're
awakening.
both connected,
Oh.
so you can both make intelligence rolls.
Okay.
Uh-oh, intelligence.
Oh, that's my worst roll of the night.
Those are enough. Basically, you make out that their names. The sword is named Narzine. The axe is read Qualan. Kafrin is the bow. That's
Gotcha.
what you get.
Alrighty.
That's what you get.
I'm like,
That's what you got, is what I mean.
That's what you get.
Right.
You should have known.
So that's interesting.
Chris,
So,
making-
okay, yes, I will make a roll.
You should have, like, I say to Chris telepathically, I'm like,
Memories
Hey, Chris.
like oh,
the bow's name's Catherine.
okay,
Bill.
Catherine.
so
Bettina.
Catherine.
Penis. 12 swords.
Thank you, Bettina. Please call out every, like, terrible sexual innuendo.
That's right. I was hoping that 12 Stormers
Okay,
were watching.
so-
Nope.
Oh.
12 is enough that you definitely remember that you've heard those names before.
I've heard them before.
However,
Okay.
they're not necessarily a standard name. And they are the dwarven version of names. It'd be like me going to Dimitri or Giacomo.
Are these some of the weapons that we need to recover from Parthon? Can we get a long distance connection with Parthon? Paging Parthon. Oh, memory time.
Hi, you've called Parthon. Sorry, I can't take your mental call at the moment.
I'm currently thinking about something else.
These weapons bear a similar design to dwarven weapons and appear to be quite powerful, but they are identical to Winston.
These are not the tools you're looking for.
They do not appear to be ancient dwarven weapons.
Gotcha. These aren't the weapons we've been tasked to recover.
Okay.
But they seem to have like a similar, yet maybe parallel lineage.
Yeah.
Is what I'm gathering from that.
Wouldn't it be interesting if your weapon...
Wouldn't it be nice if my weapon was magic?
Yeah.
Well, it's clearly magic.
It's definitely magic. It is magic. It glows when I hold it and sparkles now because it's becoming. I know that's because the air power.
But there is something else that will do it too. But yeah,
it still makes me feel.
So Penelope,
nice.
Penelope looks at Eduardo and says, "Find anything interesting?"
I did. Now, I didn't tell you before about the flesh that I ate. But I was I explained to her what I saw.
I think you did tell her, didn't you? You agreed to.
I think you
agreed to
tell
eat
her now.
I think we agreed to, and then we didn't actually tell.
I agreed to eat it, and that is all I promised, and I fulfilled my part.
Okay. All right. So you informed her what you saw.
Yes, on both accounts.
She remarks that it would appear that Kenneth's wife was some sort of elven assassin.
Whoa.
Something like that.
Kenneth.
Everything
You dog.
Everything we have gone through in that house and in this basement seems to be a normal marital life of a trader and his, albeit unusual, pairing of a human and elf. Still a normal marital situation.
Although
it doesn't seem to be anything odd.
Except
she seemed to have some magical ability, but all elves have some. So there was nothing that unusual. A few of the texts are a little bit on the dark side, but nothing you wouldn't find at a elderly, sort of edgy, older person. Nothing
Very
unusual.
it's
the Kama Sutra for elves.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, what's
for magicians?
What's the what's the name? Like, what's the other names that elves have? Like, is it Dre or Drew or what is it?
Drow. Yeah.
Drow.
I was gonna say 50
The
Shades
Drow
of
is a
Drow.
dark. Oh god.
She an assassin because she slayed an ass.
Okay.
All right. Sorry.
Well, actually, I was gonna make a done edgy pensioners. That's right. Peter.
I was going to sort of like that old, that old woman that always has like a witch's book or a grimoire, and she's just some weird old lady who's trying to be cool. There's always one that's like
we may have interpreted it a different way.
Yeah, I went edgy instead of like weird
Sexual.
old lady that's like, oh yes, darling, I'm a Wiccan.
We just
I
went
cast
overtly
bones
sexual.
Cast bones.
Yeah.
What do you say? I cast bone storm.
No,
Bones in the morning. It's a thing. It's a thing that women, they're like Wiccans, will they'll put bones and blood in a bowl and cast them and try to.
I bet they cast bone storm, don't you, lady?
It looks like we're gonna have a bloody and bony day, just like every day.
God.
Oh my gosh, this is going off the rails. I'm gonna ask because I'm surprised you haven't asked yet. Hey, what about those daggers, Penelope?
I was staying away from them.
Oh,
I can barely resist as they are.
that's why I'm glad we've changed places.
Change places.
She remarks that there are also weapons that were recovered, but not from the house. They basically were found stashed in the front yard.
I'm going to try and go for a roll here.
Oh no, I'm gonna distance myself.
What are you doing?
You found my daggers.
What are you trying to?
Oh, but Barry, you don't have.
Are you going with a persuasion roll?
You don't have a strong persuasion
Oh
check.
well, I'm going to try it anyway.
Oh no!
You're
Tina's
gonna
like, what
try
about
anyway.
these nuts? What do you roll? Oh.
She laughs rather sardonically and goes, "Very funny, Eduardo."
He's a
And
good
then
boy.
she goes, They are queer. They are clear. I almost said queerly. They are clearly. They are clearly
Fabulous.
of Utaran design.
Yeah.
Nice try though.
I look at her.
She's on to you.
I look at her square in the eyes. I'm like, all you had to say was no.
Wow.
Because I did ask. I'm like,
Sassy.
I was like, did you find my daggers? And she could be like, no, they're not yours.
She goes. You make me laugh all the time, Eduardo.
Oh, hello. Maybe. See. I talk to you telepathically.
Good.
Maybe I could now make a play for them because they're Utaran. Should I just do it? Because then you can have them. It doesn't matter. Like she'll just laugh.
You can play it off as a joke.
She's infatuated with you. I can be like, "Ha, silly Eduardo. These are Utaran daggers. Clearly they're mine." I say persuasively
Some say
because I have a much higher roll than you.
That's very disappointing. All right, yeah, go for it.
Oh no!
I had like a rack
I'm gonna somehow get a 5, even though I have plus 12. Ooh, that's a natural 20.
That is a natural 20.
Oh my lord, Christopher, how did you do this?
She goes. She says to you, "You're awfully convincing, Winston." But I know who they belong to.
Oh well, fuck me. We should have kept talking to you.
And she said, "And it's not you." Nice try, though.
Penelope, we have fun.
She says to you. She sort of leans in and goes, "I know what you're trying to do."
But like, also 2 fucking
I'm gonna
natural
let
20s
it.
already.
I'm gonna let it slide.
Oh.
But I know who they belong to,
Oh.
and it's neither of you.
I start
And they are
sliding
not
the
leaving
daggers
my
sliding
Oh,
towards me.
yeah, she's gonna stand up in a second. Be very careful.
I was like, no. Here, you take those.
You remember her wrecking shop last time, right?
Yes. I'll just put those back
And
over there,
there's,
Penelope.
there's at
All part of
least
the
5
joke.
other Utara in, and you aren't a member yet, so killing you wouldn't be a crime.
Oh.
Once you are a member, though.
Where's the membership for?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
But she goes, "Okay, enough of that."
Yes.
And she sort of moves the daggers over to the other table.
oh. I've also noticed these trap disarming kits. Are they here for a purpose?
Probably design.
Feel free. We disarmed everything that could have been
God, I'm gonna
dangerous.
grab somewhere like fucking can.
Oh,
Jesus.
yeah,
Close.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, you're good.
As soon as he started going, I'm like, oh man, I only got 2 out of fucking.
We're
I should get you on like a private chat, Chris.
Yeah,
And just,
I need like a 5-second
go for this
bonus.
before I say it. Okay.
Heads up.
Fucking hell. At least if you
right.
die now, when you have like 95 potions in your possession,
I'm a treasure chest. That's all I really am.
like Bard's Tale
Okay.
style.
So Penelope says to you that she's continuing the investigation as to how these got here. She's incredibly troubled, and she'll brief you again when she sees you at your meeting.
Gotcha.
Remember, that's about 5 days away now.
Okay.
You've got to use that Sibylline gem to meet Lenara and whomever else. The higher ups is basically what she refers to them as.
Eduardo the pack mule.
That's me,
That
alright.
is very accurate.
What about these nuts?
Although he's a pack mule that like also absorbs other people's packs
That's
without them asking.
Yeah.
Now, do we?
Yeah, kind of just. I imagine it's a pack mule that runs alongside the others, but slowly pushes them off the cliff
That's right.
as their gear falls onto them.
That sounds about right. Now, do we? I'm asking you. Eduardo, do we need to go in here and investigate, or are we sort of good to go?
I think we should ask
About what?
what's happening in there, like how the
Go
monolith's
ahead.
going.
You're your own man.
Oh, Penelope, look.
Let me get real with you for a second.
We all have needs, and I needs to know what's going on in that room over there.
Fucking hell.
All right. Well, she just says, "Oh, feel free to go. It's just a couple of magi locking down the monolith, and there's a medic there watching Kenneth's status.
Ooh,
Go
okay.
for it. There's nothing down there, but feel free."
Thank you. I'm a very curious boy, my nature. That was a weird inflection that I put on that word.
More nature.
My nature.
Oh, to be sure. All right, we won't spend
As
too
you
much time
enter,
here, 'cause
you
I feel
just
like we
see-
need to move on.
Yeah.
Two magi that appear to be holding fast with their weapons and maintaining some sort of. You almost get like as you walk to a certain distance, you feel sort of a hum in the air. It appears they're projecting some sort of field around the monolith.
Oh, doing it fancifully, apparently.
Yeah, very wow. You guys are great.
Whoa, look at this fucking dance party.
Yeah, they appear to be chanting
Dance major.
and moving in a fairly specific manner.
This was actually the very first time in the world that Dance Dance Revolution was invented. Like, oh, look at, I'll do this move. You follow me.
Both of you make perception rolls.
Oh no, we're going to invent Dance Dance
Oh,
Revolution.
memory rolls. Okay, so
Like DDR was an
you
amazing
both
game.
recognise that the
both
Magi
start
are
recognize.
using elven wands
Oh, yes, they are.
to maintain that field.
I did notice that
They are
already
definitely-
without actually needing the roll.
I was wondering why they were holding bouquets.
Yeah, they're definitely elven weapons.
That's
that,
interesting.
They're using. Yeah.
They have to use elven magic to maintain it.
Oof.
Yeah, these guys are doing
You're a
some
fancy
fucking,
mage, aren't
fucking
you?
flips going on.
Yeah, the medic seems to be maintaining a constant vigil over Kenneth. He appears to be trapped in sort of a purgatory of constant. Like basically, they're killing him and healing him at the same time.
That's very strange.
Wow, that is
They're keeping him trapped.
not what you want.
No, that was terrible.
Poor bastard.
Yeah, really.
He's probably in a lot of pain, but he's not going anywhere and he's not going to die.
Awesome.
I don't know if that's for the
In a
best.
constant, painful, deathless state.
But I guess Peter says,
Well,
over here,
they-
Sandstorm begins to play.
I prefer the flip version.
Oh, yes.
Or the recorder.
The awful.
I might
My favourite thing in the world, like the Harry Potter version and the Jurassic Park version of that.
Oh, yeah.
Someone did like yeah, they drew the dinosaurs really poorly.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Like, or animated them really poorly. It's like,
Oh my god.
So good. I remember seeing a
All
video
right.
of No
Peter,
Man's Sky.
I'll edit together a Sandstorm video for you with all these zooms.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, I feel like that's
Okay.
we've
I think we should
exhausted
move
this
on.
area.
Yeah.
Away!
Sorry, Kenneth. Get better
alright,
soon.
so
Good luck, have
you're
fun.
going to leave. All right, so you're setting off with
209,000.
I saw the same thing. Like, can I buy a brand new house? Please.
I think you could buy we could
you-
both buy many houses at this stage, I think.
Okay, so I'm gonna push this forward a little bit. Basically, just all you're gonna do when you go out there is let D'Angelo and Anne know you're ready to go.
Yep.
And so you've set off on your journey, and it's been about 2 days before you arrive at the old abandoned path.
Awesome. Look at this go.
Yeah, that is a. Dude, we had to take a path to the path.
Oh, the old path.
Path on.
Yeah, you basically travelled through thick forest to reach this sort of old
Ooh.
tree path. So, as you arrive,
Oh, Anne's here.
you see quite the scene.
Yeah.
Some old ruins,
Oh,
couple of wagons, and a lot of debris.
cursed blood
Jeez.
everywhere.
There's a lot going on, yeah.
D'Angelo and Anne seem anxious, but not quite, worried yet.
It's okay,
And,
guys.
On your journey, D'Angelo may or may not have let slip that he is an agent of Kabar, so that he is like you.
Oh,
okay.
So he's also. Does that mean he's also performing tasks for Pathon?
He is one of Parthen's men. He was one of the. He's basically this is his.
What are you facing?
This is his test mission, because you realize that Lomas was the one that introduced you to D'Angelo and Jetro.
Mm,
So he was recruiting them for Parthen,
of course.
and this is sort of
the original
D'Angelo's
Yeah.
test.
D'Angelo.
He doesn't die on the way.
All right. Well,
And I'm going to continue changing his name every time the level changes, so he will be D'Angelo next level.
Perfect.
So let's be really cautious here and have a look around first because it's very cursed.
Scope it out.
Anne is very, very sneaky, so she slowly
Oh, saunters in.
moves towards.
Look at that chainmail.
She notices a lot of shit. She's like, okay, this is serious. This looks like a trading caravan, and it's been decimated. She's looking around, and she gets you. You will both make some perception checks for me.
Lord Water won't see a lot from where he is.
Oh,
Oh, I've been hit with the plague of bad
so
rolls.
have
All right.
Slightly
So-
successful rolls.
Eduardo doesn't really notice much. He just sees like carnage, and he's sort of, distracted by all the horrible odors and all that sort of stuff.
Was like
Winston,
overwhelmed.
you do notice
I
that there seems to be quite a
Horrific.
lot of dead bodies here.
Yeah,
There's
look.
probably 10,
Everywhere.
and children weren't spared either.
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh, what? Not the kiddies. Not the kidlings. No, what are they called?
If you're referring to Star Wars, the younglings.
Younglings, that's the one. Ugh.
Oh, there's even a
Angelo
Labrador.
slowly makes his way towards the entrance to the
Oh, careful, bud. He's gonna get
to the old
He's
ruins.
gonna get sucked
And
in.
Sucked
he's
in.
he looks very concerned, but he's being very careful. He almost seems to be murmuring like, Parthen said, keep your hands to yourself. Parthen said, keep your hands to yourself. Making sure not to touch anything.
Ah,
Now, can we sort of clear this area using? I've got some blessed oil flasks.
yeah.
You should
That
have.
may be an option.
You have many things.
I have a couple of things.
I've got a barrel of just normal water.
I've got a laser ray.
Will that work?
You can try. But blessing stuff is usually a better idea. Because if you just introduce... You remember, just introducing something that isn't... Just introducing a surface won't make it. You have to introduce a surface, then bless it. Or introduce a blessed surface.
Alright, let's try this.
What have I got? Any barrels of blessed water?
I'm gonna try blessing this area.
Bless this mess.
Blessed oil.
Okay.
Blessed.
Nice.
Blessed.
Oh,
Alright.
bless.
Let's see what
Bless.
happens.
As that oil starts to sizzle, it has purified the oil to a degree. As it's sizzling and jumbling about, you hear a murmuring from inside the brush.
Oh,
Quite sure what it is yet.
I've gone into overview mode. There we go. Oh!
Flesh-eating ghouls appear.
Oh!
fly, you ghoul.
Fly, you cool.
I watched Lord of the Rings recently.
Oh man, did you? It's a really good movie.
That's the
Oh,
first
all
two,
three of them are fantastic.
I did a marathon extended edition where we had to like have dinner and sleep and wake up and then watch the last one.
actually.
Fly, you ghouls.
I'm gonna have to do one of
What are you going for?
these ones. I'm gonna do a jumpy flip.
I think that's a technical term.
Yep.
Andrew, when Andrew said, is he saying keep your hands to yourself to kleptomaniac Eduardo? Keep your hands to yourself, keep your hands to
That
yourself.
was me too well.
I believe he has warned Eduardo of his thieving, but I don't think Eduardo has paid any mind.
Never. It's not thieving, it's borrowing.
Alright, so what have you done?
This.
Ooh. Ooh, nice. Got him.
So it's down.
As some of them fall, they begin to screech incessantly,
Shut up.
and even more appear from the woodwork.
Ooh, careful everybody. Careful. I'm gonna end my turn right over here.
His name is Ragul. Come on, Dangelo, what are you doing?
Oh, it's putting to
sleeping.
sleep. No.
Nap time.
Yeah. Restrain them, don't kill them. I say loudly.
Do you think?
Well, I killed one another appeared.
So should we not kill them?
Perhaps.
I don't know if I can not
Make
kill them.
you aren't sure if it's just. It didn't look like magical. It looked like there were more of them in the brush.
Oh.
There's more
Kill
of them
away.
in the bro- Continue with your killing. Well, this one I can take down very easily. Huh.
Executed.
It
I
gives
just
me-
got plus 2 AP.
Yeah, it gives me 2 AP. That's one of my things.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's just how I roll, bro. We gotta just give this guy a
Downhill
little
at speed.
smacky poo. Ugh.
Oh,
Take it.
give him another. Give him another licking.
Yeah, I might just give him another just standard whack.
Yeah, you often go for skills and stuff where a whack would generally be quite effective.
Yeah, I've kind of noticed that. Wait, which I finally noticed that after 8 episodes. So, which his physical armor's down now, so I could do
He's susceptible.
shackles of pain.
Oh, that's right. You usually do that first and nothing happens.
Oh, that is the first time you've ever got that off.
Yeah. Oh, and
Immediately
he didn't
did not
even
need
need
it.
it. As soon as he walked off, he
Oh,
just died.
dear.
Oh my god, that's the first time I've successfully correctly applied Shackles of Pain.
It's good. It felt good.
Oh man.
Felt good to see.
Do you see him die all zappy?
Yeah, I love that. Like, this is such a serious game.
And Anne and D'Angelo were just casting naps on these guys.
I got your naps here. Hey, I'm napping here.
Hey, I'm napping here.
Oh, this is gonna be nice.
What do you got, son? Laser ray. Whoa, you hit me.
Sorry.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
You hit me like a lot.
Did I?
You hit the guy with very little magic.
Yeah, you hit like a lot of my magic armor away.
Yeah, like, you passed my test.
You actually hit the enemy like a little bit less
Oh,
than me, I think.
he hit 2 enemies that he's.
Oh, he got
he's
2. That's right. Alright. You fuck.
Yeah.
He's trying.
Eat shit.
That was a really cool attack, though. What the fuck was that?
It was my hot ray.
Oh no, have you made a spell bird?
Perhaps.
Where is he?
As the
In the fire.
as the flames are engulfing those 2 ghouls, they screech
Oh
with
no, not again.
pure rage.
I'm angry.
You hear a horrible rumble, like this disgusting, like crawling up your spine and screeches, and all of a sudden, out of almost thin air, appear these horrible creatures.
Oh, what's the fuck's going on here? The flayers are here.
Hey,
Flyers are here.
got your flyers here.
Okay,
I'm
do not have any magic or physical resistance,
Okay.
so you can use your attacks on them.
I'm concerned.
I'm finally learning how to play the game after fucking 16 hours.
I'm concerned that you may be in the way of this, but I'm going to try it
no,
anyway.
not again. No, I am in the way. Check.
But will that get you? Because it says... all right, hold on, real quick.
Some will not affect. What move are you trying to move?
Superconductor, shoot forking sparks at all enemies within the area.
No, it won't
just
harm
enemies,
you. It shouldn't harm.
That's it's happening. What have you done? Eat it.
Nice.
Buzz, buzz, buzz.
Dude, that was good.
I'm glad those 2 guys ran towards me. That works really well. Oh, I'm still... Okay, no. Oh, huh? My turn. What?
Yeah.
Oh, it's my ink carton. Ink carton? It's my ink carton. Delicious.
Spellbird.
Spellbird.
Spellbird,
If I could mod it to say Spellbird, I absolutely would.
Come on, Spellbird.
And you
what are
can
you
stay
doing?
over here.
What
I'm
do
going to
you
use
do?
him as a
Do you get
distraction.
a little slap.
I gave him a little poops.
Dangelo's getting some wax.
Little sploop.
Little sploopies.
Oh, Dangelo, no. Oh, don't walk away. What are you...
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh!
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 Damn!
Oh.
Please be careful.
I'm getting some smacks on me.
I got plenty of physical armor.
Physically armor.
Everyone's holding up okay at the moment.
No,
No
we're
one's
good,
in
we're
dire trouble.
We're all
Good.
good. Alright, I can do some, do a battle stomp and hit all these dudes.
Winston, give them a good dicking.
I'm gonna give them a stomping of a lifetime. Ha! Ooh,
Crits.
knockdown.
Oh.
Executions,
Nice.
knockdowns. Nice.
Oh, smack them. Smack them while they're on the back of them.
If they're knocked down, do I do additional damage? Summon more ziggurats.
You know, it means they will not get a turn. They will miss one
Oh,
turn.
no
Oh,
turns
awesome.
for you. Well, then maybe I can just ignore them and go. Oh no, I've actually got quite a few AP. Let me take this dude out. Ugh.
Ah,
Okay.
delish.
What else can I do? I can do a phoenix dive. Set them on fire while they're.
Yes, perfect.
Is
You
that
do it in
gonna
the
actually
middle of
help them
it?
that much? I don't know if I want to like be near them too much because they're gonna hurt me.
Well, I'd say maybe... Oh, yeah, true. Well, you got plenty of armor, don't you? Because I was going to say, maybe you can Phoenix dive down the back and leave the rest of the guys closer to the rest of us. Because there's Anne, myself, and Dangle Boy.
Ooh, if I kill a lot of them, I can use bone cage to increase my physical armor using their bodies.
Oh, perfect.
So that could come in handy later. Oh, and this can heal me as well. I don't actually need to physically heal just yet, though.
Yeah, no, you're fine for the
Might just
moment.
give another whack on this guy. And then one additional whack.
Nice one. I love how they like... Oh! I have been whacked again.
I think we're handling this pretty well.
Yeah. Flare. Flare. Oh no. No, not my little boy.
Oh, he's actually alive as well.
It's good. He's working for what I wanted him to work for.
Cannon fodder.
Yeah, pretty much. So he can get back attacks.
Back here. Oh! Chicken
Oh,
ball!
yes!
Oh, nice!
Grilled chicken. Winston really enjoys whacking it. Welcome to the 12 Stormers.
That's essentially just always our show, isn't it?
Pretty much. That's nothing has changed.
Alright, what do you got? What do you got in store this time? You've been doing some pretty good attacks as well, Bezzy Boo.
Thank you.
Oh.
What have I got for my spellings? Now, I remember that venom coating does not help with undead things, so I will not do that ever again.
Look at him, he's learning.
So I can't remember if I can get around the back of enemies without getting attacked.
No, you might get.
No, you haven't got that skill yet. Remember, you need to take some scoundrel.
Yeah.
Oh, not some scoundrel, some huntsman, I think it was.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you'll get an attack of opportunity.
I'm
On
gonna do one of these ones. No.
Okay.
For a reason.
Okay. Oh,
You're welcome, everybody.
Firebrand, and this time it's actually for a good reason.
I'm gonna get hit. No, I didn't get hit.
Interesting.
But this guy's gonna.
Oh, he slowed. Maybe that stopped him.
Oh, maybe. That's cool. He couldn't react in time.
They may not have the perk attack of opportunity. Not all people have. It'll tell you with a big red attack symbol if you move around. It'll let you know.
Gotcha.
So if you don't see that, you should be okay.
Get him.
Wah, wah, wah.
Nice.
Splosh. I fumbled on applying suffocation. How does that even... What does that even mean?
I think it means exactly what it was.
Oh, I'm going to use this on myself. I'm going to just sacrifice a little bit of me.
Whoa! What's going on? Oh no!
Uh-oh. Quickly, return.
No.
Return!
Oh, everything's fine.
There we go. Alright, perfect.
Is everything all right?
Well, that was interesting.
Are we okay?
Yeah, everything. The good thing is now that we have two computers running the stream, even though I did get kicked out of the game for a split second there, which would normally fuck Divinity.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I can get back in. We're all good. Everything's okay.
Okay.
There's just a brief time continuum rip. Oh,
Oh, nice.
what's happening?
I don't know, but when they die, they release a
more
lot
of
of
the
blood.
flayers appear out of the brush.
Uh-oh.
Oh man, there's got to be some sort of... There's got to be something happening here.
I think there needs to be an off switch to this.
Yeah.
I wonder if I can... I don't really have much more blessed stuff, though.
There is definitely an off switch.
Yeah, it seems pretty obvious that there must
But
be.
it may not be one that you have control of.
Think of the XP.
We might not have control of this.
Oh, Andrew. Houston, we have a technical stop. Oh no, it's all good. Thank you for believing.
Andrew, we're getting...
Oh, never mind, Houston.
Houston, cancel that last order.
Houston, we have a normal situation.
Everything's fine over here. Yeah, we're getting
Eduardo-
slightly better at dealing with issues.
As you are slashing through the enemies, you hear something in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
It's a familiar voice, but it's not Parthen. And you hear, "Return to the fold. Return to the fold."
What the fuck does that mean?
Return to the fold?
Only Eduardo hears it.
Oh, okay. I hear nothing. I'm going to continue attacking.
Yeah. I telepathically tell Winston
Whoa!
what I heard. Blam! That's what you get!
Blammo!
I'm just like, oh!
Kobe.
What are you telling me?
About what I just heard. Was it Return to the Fold?
Yes.
Well, you obviously didn't fucking hear it that
I
well.
was like, Return to the Fold.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna...
Thank you. You've done me a mischief in the best way.
So what are we doing?
I don't know. Return to the Fold.
I'm just,
You have no context
Yeah,
for that.
I don't know.
do we need to go sort of back to our starting position?
I don't think so. I think it's a bit more philosophical than that. Winston, mind you, just a word to the wise.
Yes.
Leave the chicken.
What? Why?
Because you're much more strong and your attack will do more damage to something else that's not that chicken. Because remember, I've got that incarnate that could take out the chick.
Take out the chick. Take it out.
out.
Well, there's a fallen over flare I can knock out. But I'm also wondering whether... Do I need to encourage everyone? Is that what he means?
Return to the fold. Do whatever you feel, Winston.
I'm gonna be encouraging.
Yeah.
As the flesh of the flayers rots and you scream out in encouragement,
Encouragement!
you hear a horrific
Uh-oh.
rumble from underground,
rumble
and
in
an
the jungle.
eruption.
Uh-oh. Oh, fuck me.
Oh, what the heck? Good.
This is gonna go bad.
Oh, we really gotta earn this victory, Winston.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
These guys are fucking crazy strong.
Nah, we got him.
No, I don't think we do. I think we need to do something else.
Okay. Maybe we should... we gotta clear this pathway. I want to see what's up here.
The only thing I can think of is if I touch that seaosn gem, and that might teleport me out, but I don't know if that's gonna help you, though.
What do you want to do?
I'm wondering, I'm searching my memories, I guess memories. If we use that gem, is that going to take all of us out or just me?
Appears to be only bound to you and Eduardo, and you were given instructions on how to travel together.
Okay, but that'll only work for both of us.
We don't leave these guys stranded.
You can't. Well, you can.
I mean, we
absolutely
absolutely can. But I don't want to.
I don't think we should either.
Eduardo has become a better person than that.
Yeah, we've got a lot of these big boys. Far out. Okay. Return to the fold. I'd like to explore what's up further.
The only thing I can do is actually freeze all of them because none of them have magic armor.
Oh, cool.
So I might just do that while we think.
Nice.
So that'll chill them, and then I think I have to do it again to freeze them or something.
Chill, everybody.
Yeah, if you wet them first, then chill. But if you wet them while they're chilled, they might freeze as well. I think. Can't remember.
Let's throw some water at them, which I could do actually.
Splash.
Arctic's Embrace was a nice gift from Parthen.
Yeah, I don't actually have any other ability to do that, unfortunately.
You should have rain from your amulet.
Really? I can never.
Oh, you only have Icebreaker. You don't have.
Yeah, I've only got
You
Icebreaker.
don't have rain.
No
Yeah, fair enough.
No rains here, boss.
Dang.
Okay, so
Looks like your rain is over.
well, they're slowed down a little bit, I think, or at least they're very cold.
Yeah. Very uncomfortable with the temperature. My job is done.
So we can't take these guys. As soon as they start getting into us, they're gonna rip us apart.
Yeah.
So obviously we need to do something else. Do we just need to like move closer to everyone? Can we like run any checks that'll help us sort of determine what the term fold might mean in that context?
Yeah, actually.
Can I discern who it might be? That might give us some clue
Here we
to
go. Memory
what
checks.
to do.
Memory checks.
memory checks. Remember?
Oh, that's a pretty good memory check.
Whoa.
Oh, not good enough.
I passed.
Somehow.
Eduardo recognizes the voice
Oh, you must
as
know
Uncle
something.
Nap.
Ah, nappy boy.
Oh yeah, of course. We should have actually like identified what the voice was. So what does that mean?
Uncle Nap Nap told me to return to the fold.
Do you need to put a pineapple
Uncle
on?
Nap Nap always said, "Fight until you fall." Remember that from Uncle Nap
Oh,
Nap.
so we gotta keep going.
Okay.
I'm gonna put my helmet on. It's already on, but I'm gonna visually put my helmet
I'm
on.
gonna also let you see. Oh, my helmet's over.
Visually have it on.
Visually have it on because
You do
this.
look actually pretty epic in that armor and like the flame.
Oh, shit.
You look
Okay.
Actually, with this, look
Okay.
how fucking cool my dude looks now.
Yeah.
Winston is looking badass. All right, well, I guess we're gonna fight through. You better, Uncle Napnap's better be fucking. I glance at you.
He was a bad guy the whole time. Yeah.
This
And
better
I'm
be-
like,
this better be fucking right. All right.
Basically, you ascertain that he's probably a human trafficker, but you aren't quite sure yet, based on everything that Eduardo said.
And for
He loves to entertain prostitutes and ship them off.
for
on
some
boats and
reason, I still trust him. Now, if I use
exotic animals. It sounds like a drug dealer from the 80s.
if I use Bone Cage now, are these dead enemies counting as corpses?
They should do, yes.
Okay, so this should actually give me quite a bit of physical
And
armor.
even the corpses that child counted.
Yeah, so
Wow.
now so
Look at your armor.
Okay, so now I have 3,000 physical armor. So that should help protect me.
You're
Look, I'll be
insane.
honest. Every fight I've given you has never been too difficult for you. This one may be, but I've never given you before one that was too difficult.
Holy shit! So I'm actually kind of good to go.
yeah.
I have the ability to do one more thing, and I just don't know what to do.
What's your goal to do? Talk it out with me, Winston.
Oops, that was actually an accident.
Well,
But that's
you froze
okay.
them, then you burned
Froze
them.
them and warmed them up. Now they're like, oh, I don't know what to think.
Yeah.
Now they're warm.
Attack the chicken.
They're just very confused.
Chicken dead.
Is it?
Yes.
Fuck it up.
Attack.
Oh, Andrew says hit the chicken with fire, see if you can make KFC. I actually did just do that.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna be eating well tonight, boys, if we survive. Okay, well I have fuck tons of physical armor now, so I'm feeling fairly good.
Act as distraction. Yes.
Although that's only for a few turns.
I stay here. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
That did like nothing.
Well, they can't hurt me. They gotta get through my
One
armor
of the
first.
flayers is raised from the dead.
Oh shit. He's making it an arsehole-ish level battle.
It's only
And
like
there's
41
another.
damage.
Oh fucking hell.
Woo,
Here comes good.
boy!
Yeah, because he's going through my armor.
More targets. That's all I'm seeing.
I'm just gonna rack up some
More
experience
people
points.
to kill.
Oh, someone got an attack of opportunity. Jesus! How is your little dude still alive? Oh, I got an attack of opportunity. Critical hit.
Nice.
So those boosts in summoning and your level do a lot of good for it.
Holy crap.
Oh my god, look at them all.
This is ridiculous.
I really want to use that electric attack again where it gets all enemies.
Just be careful.
That's on the enemies.
Oh, it's on the enemies? Oh, then absolutely.
One of the Gurn seems to split in two and reform.
Oh
as
my
another.
god, stop it.
Fucking hell, what is going on? This is
Oh,
ridiculous.
Bettina, that's great. Nobody does chicken like fire!
Okay, what do you got? What do you got, boy? Remember, things have to refresh, so you might not have it yet. You got it?
Out of nowhere,
Oh no.
Eduardo smells a familiar smell.
Oh, it's the 11 herbs and spices.
Of suave spices and the sea.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Hey,
nowhere.
boys.
And out of nowhere appears
Uh-oh.
Uncle Nap Nap.
What?
Where is he?
Nap Nap appears!
Where is he?
On
Uncle
the top.
Pineapple! Here he is. Oh, he has some crazy stats.
I'm like, Uncle Nap Nap! And I appear in front of him as I
Smiles, he grins at you, and you see all of his large, intimidating teeth. But it seems to be you feel warmed.
You
No
feel
one else
warmed.
does.
Everyone else feels very, very...
Everyone else sees a Zis and is terrified.
It's Uncle Nap Nap, it's okay. It's okay, it's Nap Nap.
Holy crap, it's happening.
Remember, his kind conquered this continent.
Yeah, but nah, it's Uncle Nap Nap, it's fine. Very bad.
It appears you're comforting Uncle Nap.
Oh, yes. Nap, good to see you.
I don't
just the usual zip.
Look what he's doing with his hand!
touch.
Oh man, what is going on here?
Oh my god!
Eduardo, jeez, I thought you knew nothing about these ways.
Huh?
You gonna finish your turn?
Yep.
Yeah, fuck.
Done.
Nobody does chicken like fire!
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 I
Oh,
imagine that's like a Disturbed song. I imagine just him. Fire.
Alright, here we go.
Okay.
D'Angelo.
D'Angelo looks nervous, but
He's giving it a go.
Come on,
he's holding
Dingle
his
boy.
he's holding his nerve.
You got this, D'Angelo. Gello it out.
Oh,
Ooh,
nice.
zippy zaps. He's getting some shots in. Alright, it's my turn. My time to shine.
Oh yeah, I've still got my little dude. That's right.
Yeah, you do. That's what they call it.
I still don't understand.
The Gurn appear to be multiplying again.
Oh, what the fuck?
Stop it.
I've got gun. They're multiplying. Should I? I
We're
can
losing
jump
control.
in here. Hit a few of these fuckers.
Killing stuff, nice.
Wow, these guys are strong.
Yeah, the big boys.
Crippling blow.
And he's crippled.
Oh, that actually did quite a bit. Let's see if I can. I don't think I can fully knock him out, but.
Oh,
Oh,
almost.
pretty close.
You're stronger than you think.
I have a Dome of Protect. I have a blood sucking power. That's not going to help me.
Bless.
Nah, I don't want to use that. Like, I need a fish. That could help. It's never a bad.
One less fish in the world. That's got to be a good thing, right?
The blood sucking power will heal you.
But I'm not
It will
damaged.
drain the enemy.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
No, I can't use that. I don't have enough action points.
Dang.
Dang.
No, AP. AP low.
Ooh.
Challenge.
I'm going to challenge this guy that's really close to death.
Yeah, nice. You're not one, you're not.
Oh no, I challenged a few of them. Because if one of them dies, I get extra armor.
Oh no, oh, far
So
out,
hopefully,
'cause that's what you need.
hopefully he walks off.
Okay.
Oh, Uncle Pineapple. Here he goes. Oh boy,
Oh,
here I
I'm
go
so
killing
concerned.
again. Whoa! Yes, challenge one.
Congrats.
Yes, I've got even more physical armor now.
Holy shit.
All the armor of the rainbow. Holy crap. He did Epidemic of Fire.
Epidemic.
That's what it was called.
Yeah, I know, but like that just means
It's just ridiculous.
they're all infected.
Oh shit, my magic armor is at 1700 now as well.
What the hell's your problem?
What's he doing?
I'm so concerned.
Naps. Getting it done.
And watch the enemies.
It's happening.
Oh, what's going on there?
I don't know, but there's a lot of things happening.
Oh,
Oh, another swap.
flare into the air.
Yeah.
Vacuum aura.
What the
What
fuck
the
is
hell?
going on? Okay.
Are they all dead? They're all dead.
How?
There's only a few left.
We can take him. Uncle Naps.
They appear paralyzed with fear.
Oh,
Oh, they're going to be paralyzed with death soon. That's my shit talking. Although Naps is going to get a turn before I do. Jeez, I need to do something about my initiative.
The flame is eating away at their corpses, and they're slowly dissipating.
Interesting. Ooh. Ooh, we're outside of battle now, I think.
Yeah, the guy was attacking just
I'm
sort
just
of.
going to get out of here
enveloped.
because it was hurting me quite a lot.
Owie.
Ouchie! Like, really be careful when you're walking through.
Okay.
I'm going to
And
have,
as quickly as that,
some dinner.
Delish.
Wow!
the enemies start to decay.
Not before I... No.
Yeah.
Not before I get nothing on them. Ah! Careful walking on that
Oh,
shit.
that blood.
Oh, that smarts.
Uncle Pineapple starts speaking in an unknown dialect.
We've never actually heard him speak.
It's very full of like. imagine a lizard speaking Arabic, basically.
Wow.
Pineapple, tropical.
As he says that,
25% fruit.
it appears to purge the area of toxin.
Look at this.
Oh, wow.
Why are we even adventuring at all? Uncle Nap can just do the whole fucking thing.
He's got this. Holy shit.
We're like fighting for people that are much stronger than us.
Yeah.
They could easily do it themselves, but are clearly too lazy.
Like, let me do it. Don't worry about it.
Naps, you say.
Uncle Nap.
I was gonna say he doesn't even know who the fuck you are.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know what's going on. I'm just sort of here.
He looks kindly towards you, Eduardo, appearingly waiting for a response.
Uncle Nap, it's been so long.
Has it? What do you remember
puts-
of him?
Yeah.
It's all pretty positive,
Pretty positive.
but some of it's fairly suspicious.
Special hugs.
But you do know that well, yes, filled with love and joy, but nothing else. But you do remember a lot of things that seem suspicious in Winston's eyes, but you seem to have no suspicion of, such as him having large fleets of ships, often having very beautiful women of all sorts of races and species and colors and all that, appearing with him briefly and then disappearing forever. Lots of exotic animals, dangerous animals, that sort of thing. So yeah, you don't quite know for certain what's going on, but.
Oh, we've leveled up as well.
Everyone likes Uncle Nap. That's why. Oh, that's right. I'm bald.
Well, bald without the helmet.
Oh,
yeah.
you look weird. Put your helmet back on. What is
Take the
going on?
helmet back on. Yeah, you look like a sickly baby.
Well, it's just,
You look
Uncle
like-
Nap, I'm not well.
Uncle Nap, please. Oh man.
All right.
I think you should lead this conversation.
Yeah. When was the last time
Maybe you should
I
like
saw
also
him?
like introduce me.
No, never.
Sorry.
Oh.
I was like, see ya.
Where am I?
So you last saw Nap just before, about 3 weeks before you left. Basically, you left for Devane, for Isidore. You're on the same boat as Chris did, and as Winston, sorry. And you hadn't seen him for about 3 weeks. He'd gone off on one of his usual trips, and you decided that you wanted to see the world for yourself, even though he'd disagreed and thought that you weren't prepared for the outside world just yet.
Look at me now, nappy
He
man.
seems happy to see you.
That's good. Do I know what the trips were about, or we just like it was just routine business trips?
You just remember long trips, you know, long business trips out on the sea, that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, the old sea business. Coming back with animals and beautiful women. Elfish maybe.
Elfish
We might.
fell asleep. But that's okay. It's Uncle Napnaps. Uncle Pineapple is here.
Uncle Napnaps, finally, my
He's
uncle.
here,
My
Uncle
He
Pineapple.
puts his hand on your shoulder and he says,
oh boy.
Nice shoulder.
Eduardo, it is good to see you,
Oh,
my boy. Glad that you are safe.
Thank you, Uncle Napnap. It's lovely to see you too. Thank you so much for helping us.
I clear my throat.
This is my exotic
He
pet.
ignores And he sort of puts his hand around the amulet he gave him and he goes, "It's kept you well."
Yes, the amulet.
Sort of,
it
sort of
helped
moves
me.
around and he sort of looks you around and he goes, "You have grown."
Have I? I get all like flustered. I'm like, oh my god, I've grown.
You are a plant-based creature and you were only just hit maturity before you left, so
That's true. That's been quite
you may
some
have
time.
grown.
That's so cool. Thank you. You're looking very well yourself. Oh, before we go any further, this is my friend Winston. He's my traveling companion. We have seen many moons together.
Well met.
Ah, it is nice to see you. I'm glad that my boy here has found someone to travel with.
Yes, he's been quite a handful, but we get along quite well.
Oh, yes. He was always good for a bit of fun.
For our young Rafiki, he knows the way.
I don't know what I'm going for.
I like the voice. Actually,
It's
I'm
good,
actually like very on board with it.
I went somewhere between a Khajiit and an Argonian. That was
Yeah,
the aim.
yeah.
You hit that sweet spot. It's
actually,
amazing.
It's actually quite good. Oh, Ellyfish is sick as well. Poor Ellyfish.
We hope that you feel better and stay awake.
And Andrew says, poor Ellyfish. See, we got lovely people that watch and they're all very friendly. It's nice. I've missed everyone.
We're sending our healing powers. We'll send Uncle Nap Nap to heal you.
That's right. Well, unless you're a woman, he might
Yeah.
he might steal you for his shit.
See, there it is, right
Oh,
there.
see, there you go.
Thank you, Nap Nap.
Thanks.
Well, you haven't gathered the true nature of anything. You just it's sort of childhood memories from Eduardo. There was never any direct.
Nothing suspicious.
I mean, you can come right out and ask him.
They might like dispel a few like long existing things that
Nothing's occurred to me, by the way. Like everything's positive for me.
That's right. Like nothing's occurred to you. It might be like bad to dispel those things. It might like shatter your reality.
Oh, it's fine.
Oh shit.
So what brought you here, Uncle Nap Nap? What brought you here? How did you get
I
here?
noticed that you
Sorry.
protection charm activated.
That is very cool.
What happened? Did you encounter one of the monoliths?
Yes, we've encountered a couple actually. As with some
He's fatally encountered a
things.
few.
Yeah, I didn't make it out of the encounter, but I'm still here. Don't ask.
Good thing you had amulet.
Yes.
Take good care of you.
Thank you. I didn't realize that the amulet. I thought I was just a very lucky boy.
What's your amulet say? What's it called for the viewers because they can't see it?
Oh, of course. My amulet is the Heart of Nap Nap.
No. Did you already have that?
Yeah, I've had it for like the whole time.
Since the beginning.
Oh, since
Yeah.
the beginning. Heart of Nap Nap. Well, actually, I just got an aggressively good roll. Another natural 20.
All right.
You remembered much better than I
So
did.
yes, you're doing well. Now, Eduardo, you just kind of go, "Oh, I didn't know this was to protect me."
Yeah.
Winston, you realize that Eduardo shot straight up from dead when he interacted with the monolith,
Yes, he did. He came straight back.
unexpectedly.
Yes, it was weird.
And
He also
metagaming,
unexpectedly
you weren't
walked into
sure if that was me just saving the story or not.
That's kind of what I thought.
Yeah, same.
Now, no metagaming. You realize that the amulet was an amulet of protection.
Huh.
I need you to make 2 more checks.
Oh, that's not the button. I
2
wanted to
more
press.
checks for Chris. 27 for Chris. So close.
I'm just like smiling the whole time.
He's like,
If you pass this second one, you're gonna get a good little.
Oh, here we go. It's going to be a 1. Oh, not bad.
No, that's
Oh,
2
nice
passes.
one.
Okay. Basically, you put 2 and 2 together and
No need to
realize
bestows.
that based on how powerful Uncle Nap Nap is, and the fact that Eduardo always seems to end up having always have enough resurrect scrolls. He always seems to bounce back from some really serious injuries, right? That you shouldn't be able to bounce back from, even in sort of a magical sense.
Yeah.
You don't think that he was at risk of becoming undead.
Ah, interesting.
Okay.
So he was sort of protected.
So you 2 and 2 together again. You don't think Parthen was entirely truthful when he convinced you to join.
That's true, because he
Oh.
sort of said that he was going to heal him.
That's right. That was the whole thing.
So and
Hey.
he knows power quite well as well.
Yeah, he would have known.
You can't really talk to me about this.
No, this
But
is
I'm-
all
but-
better.
but
I'm
I'm-
still just smiling.
You
Like,
can talk.
I'm telling you now.
You can talk about it later, but or you can telepathically tell him.
I'm going to telepathically say,
Wait.
I don't think that Parthen has been 100% truthful with us. That amulet.
Who is Parthen?
Oh, hey, mate.
Hey.
Pineapple.
I knew that he would be able to do that.
Hey, what? Nap nap.
This is a private conversation, but feel free to join it. Parthen has tasked us with a quest to retrieve the souls of weapons.
Who is Parthen?
He's a dwarven man.
No. And he sort of he waves a finger over the two of you. Well, a hand. That sounded inappropriate. 12 stormers. No, he waves a hand over the two of you, and he just sort of, has a look at you, and he goes, sort of does a little ritual.
Oh yeah.
And he connects with the other two people there, obviously DUNNgeon and over to, Anne. And he goes, no. Oh, what did you do?
Uh-oh.
What did you agree to?
Uh-oh.
We were helping. We wanted to help.
Well, we both believed
Helping
ourselves
who?
to be cursed. You thought that you were going to turn into undead,
This is a zombie.
and I thought that I was going to be permanently tarred with my family's past against the elves.
You burnt down one of them trees.
I didn't, but my family did.
Yeah.
That is a myth.
Ah! I like how Uncle Pineapple is like one of those like old men in a computer shop. This
said-
computer, I need faster. That is myth.
puts his-
I buy cheap
he puts-
computer.
He puts his hands out
Uh-oh.
and he goes,
And he's cleans
do I
me.
look covered in ash?
What?
How many buildings?
What have you done?
Well, I can't determine that because I can't see it as a human.
Yeah.
So he's asking you.
You
Yeah.
should,
No.
well, Kavar's insight lets you see certain things, but no. Which is quite the revelation, which means Uncle Pineapple's burnt down a mother tree. But
Yeah.
we won't
Yeah,
get
I was
into
gonna,
that.
I
I'm, like,
I was about to say
shocked.
like what?
Or been involved.
Yeah.
But yeah, he looks very concerned, and he seems to be sort of clicking his fingers around Eduardo and trying to sort of shake his
Hawthorne's
hands
tickle
around.
tickle could be a ruse.
By the sounds. Oh no
He's not
way.
he looks very uncomfortable,
Uh-oh.
Now,
and he goes,
now.
I cannot help you."
Well, that's fucking great.
But what do you think that we've done?
Yes. What? Tell us more. What's happening? Why are you so concerned?
This is not for me to speak.
But
I know who you may seek the archivist. My boy, I love
Boy.
you. And he puts his hand on your shoulder and he goes,
And I'm like, oh, what? I've just met you.
to you, he's like making the side eye, he's making like licking his lips and shit.
It's like
So
that.
he
It's
sort
that
of-
meme where the guy's walking with his girlfriend and looks at the other girl.
Oh, yes.
Uncle Nap Nap.
he's,
Eduardo.
he's like, Eduardo, I've always loved you. Like looking back.
And he puts his hand on your shoulder and he says, "Seek the archivist. She is fair and true. I
Interesting.
wish you the best.
Thank you. Uncle
Once
Nap.
this is done, return to the fold." And you get an image of an island that you once called home.
And you hear this. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Buffalo soldier. And he sort of starts to disappear on you, sort of starts to go translucent, and he turns to you, Winston, and he says, "Take care of him, please."
I will look after him.
Sort of
You have my
just
word,
walks off into the distance.
Uncle Pineapple.
Thank you, Uncle
He
Nap
just
Nap.
walks off. You feel a true warmth, and he just disappears.
I'll never forget you.
Well, you're going to see him soon, hopefully.
That's why I'll never forget.
There's a lot to unpack from that.
Yeah, what? Parthen
Silly fucker.
has tricked us. But why?
Well, who do we trust more? You would trust Uncle Naps.
Yes. Oh, so this is out of character.
Well, we're in character.
Okay.
We're talking to each other.
You just said who would you trust more?
I'm asking you.
Okay.
Who do you trust more?
Always Uncle Nap. He made me.
How was that confusing to you?
Look how that turned out.
Yes. Unable to understand sentences.
Yes.
Okay. Well, he did just come and save us from this definitely fatal battle. Although we were doing pretty well.
We could have done pretty well.
Could have done better. Also, we have to level up. So let's level up while we have a bit of a think.
That sounds good.
What do you guys think, Stormers? What do you think? Who should we trust, Parthorn or Nabnaps?
Tell us about it, because Parthon's always been... He tickled me. Oh, it all makes sense now.
Oh, no.
So as you're sort of leveling up and sort of casually sort of goes, I don't know what that was. I don't know why you're talking to us this. That looks just like the ones we saw the other night. But I'm just going to put it this way. I don't want to know. I'm not going to ask any questions, and you're not going to tell me anything.
Sounds good.
We're going to get to the farm. We're going to sit down, and we don't want to see you guys again.
Jesus.
Well, alright.
He's not happy.
She doesn't seem angry. She almost seems
She's just disappointed.
disappointed that she has to do it. But she appears pretty concerned that you're associated with this.
See, this is the thing, because that's why I'm talking now. I'm talking to you telepathetically.
Yep.
This is my only concern, Eduardo. The Zis have caused much damage on these areas, and ruined almost every other race in these areas.
But was it definitely the Zis? What happens if it was the dwarves that did it?
I don't know whether Zis is true. But that's our understanding. That was the backstory we were given.
Yeah.
That
But
seems
maybe
to
that
be...
was a lie weaved.
Let me just roll and find out what I know of the area.
Do it.
Ooh, not bad.
Okay, you go back to your teachings, your wizened teacher, and you remember a specific section of history that basically the Zis are an all-conquering species. They are incredibly magically inclined and use that to their advantage. They took over a good 2/3 of the world at one stage, taking several main continents, and they've been they've enslaved the elves and humans and intended to annihilate the dwarves.
See, that
Dwarves are a very young race.
Doesn't sound like something that should be trusted.
Yeah.
In fact, the dwarves came around the time Zis were sort of taking over most of the world.
Interesting.
So when the Zis were taking over the world, because remember there was a sickness that they carried.
And people were getting down with it?
Yeah, no, they were getting down to the ground, 6 feet under.
Ferdinand's children and wife got down with it.
Exactly right, and they never got up. Yeah, well, it's always going to keep them down.
Yeah, they go down, but they don't get back.
Oh, Danny boy. It's I gotta focus on what I'm talking about. So when that happened, do I remember when they became sick? Was that after the dwarves had started to combat them?
The dwarves have been fighting for a long time. That war, like the dwarves are about 14,000 years old as a species, and the war was over when it was after the war that the Zis influenza hit. It was well after the war.
Gotcha. Because I'm wondering if it's just like a PR stunt, like it's been weaved by the dwarves, like, oh, it's the Zis, they were the bad guys.
Well, I mean, we now know the dwarf had just lied to us.
Exactly.
And we know pretty sure that the Zis didn't lie to us. But that's also locally contained to these two people that are talking to us.
Exactly
Like,
right.
it could be...
Dangelo yells out, I found something.
Oh, fuck. Hey, I'm just letting you know I'm adding another point of persuasion. Just because I know you have to manually adjust that.
Winston.
Plus 20.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you've got 5 points in it, yeah?
You're going to start like whispering to plants.
Actually, I think I have 6 points in it now. Let me just check.
You have 6
No,
points?
five,
Oh, yeah,
five
you have
points.
a bonus.
5 points. I
You
think.
might have a bonus. You might have a gear point, but yeah.
Plus 5, yeah. So I think I've got plus 20 now.
You're ridiculous. You gotta start whispering to plants like, you've got apples on you.
That
It's
is
like,
That is, you have a base plus 20, but other people's have advantages and disadvantages and things like that. So in some roles you get plus 50 if someone was really like mentally impaired, but you might get only a plus 2 if they're incredibly mentally powerful. So
Gotcha. That makes sense.
depends on the bonuses and the negatives. Like Penelope's and the Atara have very impenetrable minds,
Although
but they also
I've
like
gotten
you,
through
so
a few
you get
times.
a
Yeah.
decent bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
All right, so if you walk up the steps to the two altar-looking things.
Andrew Roberts says that he trusts Doc Brown, and that's about it. Andrew says you get a plus 50 when talking to Eduardo because they're weak minds. Andrew.
I'm glad that you appreciate the Doc Brown. I tried to work that in. I was going to cut it for time, but it worked perfectly.
That's great. It worked out well. All right, let's have a.
All right,
Quick
so,
side note, this is a bit sad. I just found the Labrador. I opened its body and I found a bone.
Oh.
It was inside it all along.
And you took it.
Yep. Gonna gnaw on it later.
There's a kid here.
Okay, so
Kid. What? Oh.
Oh.
one
Oh,
of the
boy.
children escaped, but was not left alive.
Oh,
But-
buddy.
D'Angelo has found this chest.
Uh-oh.
He can't unlock it.
Oof.
Oh, no.
Leave it to me, Eduardo. No chest is safe around me.
Honk, honk.
As
Oh,
your
he doesn't
palms
understand that.
touch the chest, Eduardo,
They feel sweaty.
you feel
Knees are weak.
an imminent rush of adrenaline. Like you are pumped.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Jim, and you- but it makes you feel uneasy, almost sick to the stomach.
Can I run any checks on that?
Yes, you can.
Because I'm very concerned.
Check
I've
your
got-
feelings.
Yeah, I'm concerned, but pumped at the same time.
What do you got? 10.
Cool.
Okay.
I like put it down to the excitement of just finding.
No,
loot.
no. There's two checks. Yeah. Okay, you pass it. The energy
a
feels similar
graphic.
to that of when you imbibed
A polite second check.
Kavar's blood.
Oh, interesting.
Let's open this motherfucker.
Winston, get behind me.
I think I won't.
Cool. Let's open
As
this
you
bad
go
boy.
to touch the key, the actual keyhole, it unlocks.
Oh.
Oh.
It's like it wants to be unlocked.
Clearly.
You easy whore, you.
Oop! Open it before you did. Potions!
No. Why?
I'm taking it all.
You a son of a bitch.
Ching, 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 ching,
I look
ching,
at you
ching,
shocked
ching,
and
ching,
appalled.
ching. Sorry, Eduardo. I just wanted to pull an
As
Eduardo.
you pillage the chest,
I did find a weapon.
sweeping it into your
Gimme.
You make-
Yeah.
pick up,
I picked up a
you
weapon.
pick up an interesting weapon. It's a pole arm. It's quite it doesn't even look like it should fit in the chest. It's quite a large
Well, I might just pop it on the ground so we can have a look at
halberd.
it.
Winston, I've got my eye on you.
Oh, I'm gonna move it over here so it's not next to the boy.
The dead boy, yes.
Poor thing.
Oh, don't worry, I'll keep an eye on him.
And it is.
Oh man.
Alright, sorry.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, interesting. Invol.
Yeah,
It's
it's
unidentified. It seems you need a very high-level lore master to identify it.
I'm going to identify it.
yeah, it's.
Can you identify it?
It looks
I'll try it.
similar in
Eduardo's-
nature to. Oh, has he identified it?
He's going to try and identify it. What's that?
Have this ball
Go
to
for
play
it.
with.
Oh, thanks. I'll
identify.
give it to the kid. Oh, no, the kid's gone.
Small master level too low. I've got an identifying glass.
Of course you do.
Use on this.
Did you do it?
Small master level too low. Sheesh.
Wow.
Hey. Dangle boy.
Oh, we need someone
As
with a
as
lore of
Eduardo
5.
picks it up, he has a very.
Erotic moment.
Yeah, almost.
What is going on?
He's filled with adrenaline and sort of like.
I found that to be offensive to
hold
me.
Oh,
Fingertips
no. I was
quiver,
going to
and
put that.
he
Sorry.
he sees an image, and it is sort of this beautiful, very organically lit sort of bridge, like a crossroads of sorts over magma.
Interesting. I feel like
And
it's
he
the
feels
entrance to
an
the castle
urge.
of Legend of Zelda.
He feels an urge to cross, but he's not sure which way, and then he comes back to the real world.
Huh.
Interesting. I tell Winston what I just experienced.
Huh. That's my response. What does that mean?
I'm not quite sure. But
Interesting. What about a body experiences?
did you feel anything when you picked up the axe?
I don't know. I felt it when I picked up this mackerel.
No, wait. Oh, he's done it. You had way too much fun with this game.
No, I don't think I felt anything, did I? Dungeon Master.
You did not. Oh, well, when you picked it up initially, you didn't see what Eduardo saw, but you felt adrenaline. That's what I said as you were putting it down.
That's
So
right.
you had like an adrenaline rush, and you sort of felt connected to it.
Interesting.
Should you hang on to it, Winston?
Yeah, pass it over here, but I think it might be related to that other weapon.
Well, can you check out the design?
Yeah, I'm going to have a closer look at the design and see if it's anything that seems familiar.
The design looks very similar to your own weapon, but it's slightly off. The wolf's heads are different. They look more akin to a much older dire wolf. Haven't been around for a very long time.
Interesting, so this seems like an ancient weapon.
Yeah.
This might be either some of the weapons that we've been tasked to get for Partham, or maybe related to the weapons that Penelope had, or does it seem like a human-made weapon? Asking the good questions.
You're very good. You're very good, Christopher.
Decent rolls.
Yes.
It's definitely.
Call me the Rolls
It
Royce.
feels, as you touch it, it feels like it belongs to the both of you, and it feels very. It almost feels heavy, too heavy to be wielded.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
It does feel like it's yours.
Okay.
So you said it felt like it was ours, right? When you said...
Yeah, I can't wield
Felt
it or
like it
anything
belonged
because,
to you, yeah.
Yeah.
because my virtue of the decades, did it level up with me?
Yeah,
My virtue
hold
of the decades?
Use this, Winston.
Yes.
See if that will work.
I don't think
Yes.
my Lore Master is lower than yours. Damn right.
Is it?
Its level 2 is low.
Gosh, darn it.
Actually, yes. Virtue of the. Oh, that's annoying.
What?
Oh, not you guys. Sorry. You guys
No,
level
we
14
understand.
now. I'm talking about.
See how it is.
I'm talking about one of the swords. Your sword didn't level up with you because now everyone else levels up because your individual characters. I have to level up your gear.
Okay.
That's all.
Gotcha.
Not a complaint. just,
Although we've never like since we stole that armor, I've never had to get other armor because I think it was very good armor at the time.
Yeah.
It's all leveled up. I also leveled it up with you. Convenient.
Oh, did you?
But,
Just to make it easier.
otherwise, you haven't. But Eduardo's picked up a bunch of stuff over the way, so I haven't really had to do much with him.
Well, I know he's been swapping weapons quite a bit,
Yeah.
which is cool actually. Okay, so what should we do next? Well, there's these two with floating skulls with candles on them. Should we have a look at these? I'm gonna have a look at one of these.
Anne calls you over to near the waterfall, and she's found a dwarf that looks suspicious, a corpse.
Interesting. We might come back to these altars then.
Yeah.
My alter ego will investigate them.
Don't alter them. Oh no.
Oh,
I accidentally opened him.
were you meant to?
I don't know.
Or you just need to,
Yeah,
you
you're
just
allowed
need
to
to
search
declare
it.
that you're looking into him.
She just said he looks suspicious.
What about him looks suspicious, Anne?
He's too well armed and he's too good looking, basically.
Interesting.
There were a couple of wealthy people there, but he's a dwarf with a beard down to his bloody kneecaps. He's old and he's powerful.
Yoink.
He's most likely wealthy, at a minimum, and he's well equipped.
Oh no!
Bless you.
What do you-
I check his body and he's very well equipped. 12 Stormers. So there's a cryptic note written in Dwarven.
Can you decipher it?
Can I decipher it?
I don't think you speak Dwarven.
Just try and read it. You can both read.
I'm going to come
Dwarven
over to you
read.
and I'll have a look
Okay.
and try and read it as well.
I look at the note.
Taking a read
Just-
written in Dwarven.
You can just, if you double click it, it should read it for you. But I'll read it to you.
Oh, here we go.
Maybe I should open it on my screen.
I'll read it
Oh, he'll
anyway.
read it
It's fine.
anyways.
Velok must receive the shipment at any cost, your life included.
Oh, okay.
Or jackstrap.
This is for you, Winston.
Oh.
Do with them what you will.
Might use them.
Winston,
Yes.
make a memory.
What is that? Oh,
Peter.
I'm nice and warm now. So, a memory check. What do I remember?
Veloch.
Okay, so you remember that back in your old school days, learning about dwarven culture and the finer things in life, you recognize Veloch as meaning cunning or deceptive in Old Dwarf.
Well, that sort of makes sense.
Yeah.
Damn these dwarves.
And that is Veloch must receive the shipment at any cost, your life included.
Your life included. Well, his life was included.
So,
I wonder if he received the shipment. Is the shipment these items that we got?
Perhaps. Although there was a crate earlier.
it might be.
Oh, these are much better than what I have.
Careful wearing them.
Why?
If they were part of the delivery, if someone sees them on you.
But they're mine now.
Yeah, well.
It appears to be getting close to morning.
Okay. Winston?
Maybe time to move on to the farm.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna maybe chuck one of these bad boys on first.
Cool. I'm gonna check.
What's retribution is returns damage, doesn't it?
It does,
Okay.
which might be useful for you.
It could be very
A
useful.
percentage.
Because I do get hit.
I think it's
A lot.
5% per.
I'll chuck on these fancy
Points?
belts. Right. I think I actually added a point of it recently. That Arctic Embrace actually gives me a lot of strength and grants me a few things. So I might keep that.
while you're doing that,
That should.
Sorry.
I'm listening. Sorry.
you're
That
right.
will level up with you because that was from Parthen.
Okay, well, that hasn't leveled up though. That's still level 12.
Eduardo, I apologize for. It should refresh now.
No worries. I was just want to check out this heavy metal crate that was near the start of the.
Yeah, you can try lockpicking it.
Lockpick. Let me right click and
Lockpick.
it.
Let me right click.
Unrocked. Ooh, things. I'll take it all. And I'll
So
take
did
the
you guys
crate
level
too.
up? You guys leveled up naturally.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't know it could do that. I was under the impression that
only you could
list
level up?
how much.
Oh,
No,
no.
only I could level. That's great. That's great.
No, we kicked butt and we leveled up. Oh, most of my stuff's level 12.
Hell yeah.
Well, you guys got. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that just yet. That's fine.
That's all good. I just put a new ring on anyways. Get some
Yeah.
legendary
If
stuff.
you find stuff that's level, you're level 14. So if you pick up a weapon that's level 15, you won't have as high a hit rating, but everything else will function.
This amulet wasn't good for you? Oh, you've already got a special amulet, don't you?
Yeah.
Because this actually is quite good. +4 finesse, which is not useful for me though. But it has 2 rune slots, and my other one doesn't. I'll leave it for now. Okay. I'm good to go. Let's move on.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I'm taking stock of everything that you guys have now, and I'll be transferring it over to the new campaign. So
Gotcha.
that'll all be like you guys will. It'll be a continuation of this story. It won't be like a. Unless you want to change something
No,
up,
no,
but-
I'd actually prefer that for it to continue.
All right,
Yeah.
that's fine with me. Okay, so you guys are ready to go?
We're ready to
Yeah.
go.
Ready, go-go's.
Okay.
Running around till we leave.
All
the
right,
place.
so basically, you're going to go to the farm.
Yeah, let's go pick some beats. Some sick beats.
Like it starts playing as you pull them from the ground. You got to pull more and more and more to make it do the whole thing. All right.
What is
Yeah,
happening?
you are over encumbered and a half.
Well, how did you?
That-
There we go.
that-
How were you carrying that?
well,
Oh.
he couldn't move. The only reason he could move was because I was able to fast travel him to the zone. Otherwise, he wouldn't.
Let's load it. Oh.
Did you just-
Okay, so
It's like that.
you've returned to the farm, and it looks a lot nicer than
It
did
does
before.
look a lot nicer than when we were here last.
Yeah, really. It's
There's still what's going on over here? Oh, it's blessed electrified blood.
blessed.
There's some blessed water barrels over here.
Interesting. Okay, that could be.
Oh, and Unvul! Unvul's
Unvul.
here! Hey!
He sort of
Who's a good
nestles
boy?
up against the two of you,
Who's a good boy?
You're a good boy.
and he sort of wanders back and starts playing in the wheat field again.
Everyone's happy now.
Yay! It's so nice.
Should we,
Follow in?
that's it. Let's go check out over here first. A
Yeah.
little quick glance. Because what's this blood going on here?
Yeah. Can we investigate that, please? See what the
Yes,
heck's
you
going
can.
on. Yes, you can.
Oh, it's the worst
Oh,
roll I've
wow.
Oh, yeah,
That's,
bad
oh,
all
wow.
around.
Natural 1. I see nothing
Look,
here.
you know it's blessed, so it's not going to hurt you. So you doubt it's bad. And this was where the
This is where the
corpses
battle-
were last time
Yeah.
that were being desecrated. So I mean, you gather it's probably okay.
You know, I'm holding 426 kilos of stuff.
Oh wow, it's a half of it. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Half
How
a
are you
ton.
holding way less than me?
I don't know. Oh, you got a barrel. That's why.
I've got a barrel.
Oh, big old barrel.
The barrels
I
weigh
got- I
like
got-
60
Oh
plus.
yeah, I've got 2 barrels. One of them weighs 95. Oh, I do have a blessed
Yeah.
water barrel. Well,
Instant.
Yeah, I saw that in your inventory. Like, if he doesn't see it, I can't.
yeah, exactly. No,
I can
I'm-
see your inventory the whole time. I'll help you.
I'm
but-
glad you didn't tell me.
But I did say, like, if you have a blessed barrel, and you were
Jeez.
like, no, I don't have a blessed barrel.
No,
Wink.
don't
I was
have
like,
it.
okay, you don't have a blessed barrel.
No barrels here.
Right.
Oh, these
You
roses are.
hear,
what's
you hear
this?
quite a few howls around. It appears that all 3 wolves
They're all walking
are
about.
frolicking.
Yay! That's so nice to see him there.
I thought I noticed something up here, Eduardo.
Okay, I'm following you.
This way.
Coming.
Look at this. There's a.
Let's saunter.
These plants look
What
dangerous.
is that? Blood rose. Can you investigate it?
Let's find out. Oop.
I was like, it's coming right at you. You picked it up, you dick. Oh, God. I actually thought it launched itself at you.
You both, you both remember that blood roses are a very uncommon, a very difficult to cultivate rose that, when distilled down and combined with a. Sorry, Mike fell.
No,
That's like when
worries.
combined
Mike
with
hit
a.
the floor. My apologies. You were just listening to my feet for a second.
It sounded amazing.
Had a great conversation.
What do you have to combine them with?
Okay, my apologies. Combine them with a empty glass bottle, and it should make a pretty potent potion.
Do I have any empty glass bottles?
I should.
You should, definitely.
Empty potion bottle. 14. Yep.
Oh shit, how do you have so many empty potion bottles?
Should we be
There was
picking
a
their
lot
crops?
lying around.
There you go.
I'm gonna give you this as a gift.
Oh, you shouldn't have.
You see an elf standing near the corn, sort of keeping an eye on you, but he's not saying it.
Yeah, this is their farm now, Winston. We shouldn't.
Or do you want to go?
What's happening?
Do you want to go talk to him?
You're taking stuff, and I'm saying
No, I
don't.
picked it up by accident. But now that I have
They
it,
picked
it
it up.
That was clearly an accident. It was sort of like you touched it, and it.
just kind of came with me. Where the hell's this potion thing? The things that I just picked up, the empty things, I can't find them.
I got no idea. I say to this guy, "Veil and well met." That's his name.
He looks you up and down,
That's actually
and he
amazing.
sort of heeds your note. He just sort of goes, hail.
No, her veil.
I was gonna say no. It's actually quite sunny.
Whether it's her
I
veil or
see
shine.
you've helped yourselves to my roses.
That was an accident. I can't. Let's see what I can do.
I
Ready.
my companion.
Oh, I made a thing. Atta of the blood rose. Ooh.
Yes, he was unaware of what he did. We apologise. You wanted, oh, yeah.
I've improved it.
We can help.
I'm gonna make this as well.
We can help.
Oh.
Well, hi, are these yours?
You're very,
Very
bad at persuasion.
fumbly.
Yes, based.
I made a fire resistance
You're giving
potion.
yourself away, Eduardo.
Oh.
Alira is down in the
Alira.
upstairs basement. Leave me to my horticulture.
I made an earth resistance potion. Look at all these potions.
Yes.
And
I
he
could've
sort
been
of,
making.
and the guy just walks off into the cornfield.
Weird dude.
Very well.
I yell out in his direction. I'm gonna take one of these.
I'm gonna take another one.
He just ignores you.
Well, he's lost.
He knew it. He knew what he's in for.
He did tell you that Alira was back in the old. You remember the farmstead?
Let's go.
basement?
Farmstead.
Let's
Yep.
go to the
So
farmstead.
did you want
Where's
to
the-
go down there?
To
Now
this farmstead.
you're about 24 hours from when you need to hit that
Ass.
amulet.
Okay.
Yes, that ass.
Gonna hit that ass.
Where is the?
So-
Where is that?
Where's the what?
The farmstead.
Oh, it's right on the corner. It's like right on the corner on the map. If you walk towards that, if you go straight down the middle, it's sort of just visible.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, if you go straight ahead from there, Winston, it's just visible. It's all, we have to travel there anyway. Like, I don't know if you can see on the left.
Oh yeah.
If you go, it's off. To the...
Found it for continuity.
Yeah, I just ran past Zara, and as I ran past, I'm like, "Hello, man."
Let's go.
I mean, you can interact with her if you'd like.
You're doing the Captain America
running
thing.
through the wheat field with DUNNgeon and picking mushrooms.
Oh, you know what we should do next
Tuesday.
Tuesday?
Time of her life.
We should have the green screen on.
Yeah.
And do like running away from explosions and like
just
like make a really bad film like we said we were going to do.
Oh, that's right. And we like cut it down and
We
make
should
it
do that
into
for the
a
whole stream. That'd
film.
be so much fun.
Done. We got to stay on task, Christopher. It's 9:30.
We've got time. We're fine.
Should we speak to the lady? Should we speak to the mushroom?
No, downstairs.
She seems to be comfortably frolicking, so
She's got nothing.
We'll
to
leave,
do.
we'll leave it to her.
We only talk to people who are in dire pain.
Yeah. Or having too much fun. Right.
she's enjoying herself.
She's enjoying herself. She has no use to us.
Yeah.
No money is to be made here. Here we go. Oh, even this is a bit cleaner.
Oh, wow, yeah.
You enter, and it seems to have been some work has been done. There seems to be some smithing equipment. Forge has been reignited. Some alchemical gear to the right there.
Careful, Winston.
What? Oh,
There's a bear. He's like right up to it, like, oh,
I didn't even see it.
what's
Yes.
that?
He shares the naming scheme with the wolves, so he's most likely
There's lots of stuff
hilarious.
here.
Unreal.
Lots of stuff here.
Maybe don't take it. What is wrong with me?
What is happening? Look, you've built. I'm gonna.
Who are you?
I don't understand. I don't know anymore. Enough of this.
There's a workbench. We can use it to make things.
Oh, we can too. Oh, that's right. We got like we can put runes and stuff on. No, it's a workbench. You can actually make things. Yeah.
We have to go to a runery.
We got.
I'm so.
I can teach you. You actually know how to make. You have the recipe for runes.
Oh, do we?
You
What?
make them in your crafting panel. Yeah, I can show you at some stage. But
Yeah.
I mean, you just have to open up crafting and go recipes. It's pretty easy.
How do you open up?
Not
crafting?
for us.
Press H.
H.
Oh,
Oh,
that's where we
look
make
at all
the
this
shoes.
stuff.
All them shoes.
So how do you make runes?
I make a
then?
freaking terror.
I know how to put things in runes. I put runes in things.
Well, you know how to
Wow.
put runes in things. Yeah, if you go over to
Oh
the
yeah,
recipes, you
I
can actually
see.
look at all the ingredients, and it'll tell you. Yeah.
We can make bone dust.
All right, pixie dust.
We can make runes. I don't have any of the ingredients to make any of these runes. Well, I have some stardust, but I don't have any bone dust. But I can make bone dust really easily. I don't make pixie dust. Ooh.
Yeah, Eduardo, as you've entered the chamber,
Oh,
you
Yes.
see 4 elves
making stardust.
all staring attentively and at arms in front of the monolith,
Some stardust.
Oh.
the one that killed you.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
it
little
did.
son of a bitch. Winston.
Yes, I'm here.
Hell, we're met. Oh. Fail, please. Thank you. I rolled a 1, so that worked out really well. I was like,
Right, you don't remember anything. It wasn't related to the.
Fucking hell.
You say hello to them. You greet them.
Yes, warmly.
Maybe I'll. Greetings.
Hello.
Well met.
They don't respond.
Okay.
However,
Oh,
Illyra
there she is.
is within earshot, and she says, "Oh, come round, Winston. Lovely to see you."
Your mages are very grumpy.
Winston.
Also, good to see you too.
I'll just stay out here then.
Well, no,
Come
she,
in.
you can come in. She knows you. She assumed you would come in without invitation.
Oh. No, I'm not rude like some people.
You used to be not long ago.
She's sitting there and she goes, I hear amongst the office chatter that you're quite close with our short friend.
Oh, who's our short friend?
Parthaman. Yes, Parthan, if that's who you're referring to. We are very, very close.
Don't worry, jeez, calm down, mate.
I thought you made better decisions than that one.
Yeah, why'd you just like lean straight into that?
Hey, that's what you do. I know him very well.
I haven't done
We're
that since
best friends.
I haven't done that since episode 1.
That's why I'm taking over now. I am the best friend, man.
I am the Winston now.
We thought we were making the right decision. We were ill-informed by the bad man.
He told us we were making the right decision.
Well, she didn't say he was bad. She just thought he made better decisions than that. He's clearly a silver tongue boy. And I mean, who do you go into business with the plain-speaking idiot or the crafty silver tongue?
Well, I already had a plain-speaking idiot, so...
He went into business with a smart one. We made it bad.
She says, well, not all the news is bad. We've got the farm cleansed.
Yes, it looks fantastic.
Yeah, I like where you're going with the place.
Cavale seems to be in a better mood lately. And we've managed to get Robin and Anne some assistance from the local elven enclave.
Perfect. We saw someone out in the field.
Yes, he seemed very happy to see
Yes.
us.
Cavale.
Mm.
He's not one for chatter, but he's a good son.
He definitely did not avail himself to a good chat.
Fucking hell.
She sort of smirks at you
That's the
and
best you're gonna get.
sort of chuckles internally, but doesn't acknowledge you.
Chuckles down
Yeah, basically. She's kind of, you know when you laugh and you kind of jiggle, but you don't make any noise. She kind of does that.
Gotcha.
I'm
concerned she's having a seizure.
Chuckles intensifies. Fucking hell.
I know that's like an uproarious applause.
Chuckling hell.
Yes. She seems to find you endearing, but in a silly, like, in the town idiot way.
Perfect.
She appreciates you. Yeah.
Oh, excuse me for my
You're
yawn.
excused.
Very
All right.
rude of me.
So what do you know of Parthen that we do not?
Good question. If she knows anything apart from
Well,
because she didn't
let's
seem like
just
to think
say-
that he was evil, but we'll find out now.
there's a reason I don't go into business with him.
What's the
He
reason?
always comes out on top.
Oh, yeah, I bet he does.
You never necessarily get burned, but you rarely get any.
Interesting. So he uses his business partners as tools to get what he wants.
He's not the worst of the worst. I mean, there are those that would leave you for dead. But he sort of leaves you the way you were before.
So he's neutral to deal with.
No loss, no gain.
Although he doesn't seem to.
Well,
enhance
he
people's
gains
lives.
plenty, but you don't lose much.
What a deal.
That doesn't sound that positive to
Yeah.
me.
No. What?
She looks directly at Winston and she goes, I'd have a few of your friends look at that before you give it to Parthen.
And by that,
She seems to gesture towards
that weapon.
I almost said something very 12 Stormers. She gestures towards the polearm you picked up.
Oh yeah, she
Oh.
does. Always comes out
Because,
on top.
that won't fit in your pack. You've sort of got that strapped to your back.
Whoa! It is a big pole arm. Sheesh.
Greek style. Is it something that you could help me identify? I spin myself around so she can look at it on my back.
Look.
No, you show her and she examines. She goes, I've seen one like it before.
Could you help
But,
identify this one or not?
Whoa.
Well,
Oh,
let's just say I know where it comes from. But
oh.
that's all I can tell you.
I implore you to reconsider, I say persuasively.
Oh god. Also, Andrew, I completely agree with your point that Eduardo is a bit of a tool.
Is there any chance I could... Oh, here we go. Plus 18.
Oh.
So I had to check it in. She's pretty smart, but she likes you.
Yeah, she does. Huh. Oh, that's a
There
bad
was
roll.
quite a bit of flirting in an earlier episode, which, I mean, admittedly, that's just me flirting with you. So there's a little bit of a. Oh,
I always knew.
oh, I can actually see what your averages are on your. You average a 4.
What? Me?
Oh, lol.
Yeah, averages. Your averages, like without your bonuses, you average a 4.
But I've got a lot of natural 20s this episode.
This episode.
Oh, man.
Your lifelong career.
Oh, man. I average a 4? That's terrible.
Killing it.
I still got
Yeah,
22.
because you got a lot of natural ones. Oh, yeah, you passed.
Gee, I rolled a 4, but I got 22. You still got
exactly.
22.
That's how persuasive you are. You've put all of your energy into being a silver tongue.
That's right. I am the path
Basically,
of now.
she says, I can't identify it for you exactly.
Jesus.
I don't have the keys to that chest. However, I can tell you that is born of dwarven crafting.
We thought so.
and
We
it
thought
is
so.
very old.
Okay, this seems to be one of the things that he wants. That if he wants it, perhaps that's something we should not give to him.
Yes.
And both of you make perception.
What can I see? Tell me what.
Tell me. Yep. Ooh.
Tell me why.
See, that's a nat
Okay.
20.
Yes,
Again.
there you go.
4.
Right, but you've had like 10 or 12 nat ones.
I've now rolled. This is funny.
And
I've
you've
now
rolled
rolled as many nat 20s as my
20s.
average roll is.
Yeah.
This
That's
episode.
interesting.
Okay,
This has got to
so
bring the
the two
average
of
up.
you, Eduardo, you recognise that the name of the weapon is very similar to the name of her wolves and her bear. That it appears to be Elven, the name,
Okay.
or a bastardization of Elvish. And Winston, you recognise that it is definitely Dwarven, based on your knowledge and your learned sort of education you had. But not only is it Dwarven, but you have definitely put together the commonality between ancient Dwarven and sort of an older Elven dialect.
Interesting.
They're very, very similar. So more and more seems to be confirming your theory that an elf created the dwarves, or at least the first 6. So some of the stuff Parthon told you appears to be true.
Interesting.
Right? So it does.
I
it does
just don't
lean
know
to-
what to think.
Portions of what he told you are definitely based on your own reckoning and are definitely true.
But he also
Some portions.
told me that I was going to be permanently tied by the ash. And Uncle Nap Nap
Well,
said that I might not be.
Alira was one that noticed it on you as well. She noticed there was something about you. She was like, "Have you ever been around?" So she noticed something in the beginning. She was the one that really tipped you off to it.
So that's
Because
right.
Cavale
That's
was
true.
just a bumbling mess. So you've identified that it's definitely one of the dwarven weapons, or you're pretty certain, and it shares a lot in common with elven words and even somewhat elven design. It looks like a sort of an elven child depiction of a wolf.
So there's definitely some ties all there.
Yeah. Interesting.
Hmm.
So it could be that a dwarf, an elf
that mean-
created the dwarves.
Is this like tilting the meter back to Unky Navnaps being a bit dodge?
I don't know. I don't trust them. Well, I do
Well, he
trust
never.
Uncle
The thing
Navnaps,
is, so far, Unky Navnaps, nothing he said has been false. And he never.
Nothing he
never
has said.
has been false, and nothing. And he never said anything about this. So, yeah, I sort
He
of-
just said he couldn't help you, and you should seek one known as the archivist.
Yeah, we
right,
need to
yeah.
get
You
some
don't know if it's the
archivists.
same archivist you've met before,
Yeah.
but he described a woman and a trustworthy one, and she seemed fairly.
Well, maybe we need to go do that now.
She seems fairly female.
All right.
Yeah.
Excuse
Yeah,
me,
exactly.
excuse me. Alira, is there
So-
anything else you need us to do/know about?
Hey.
Oh, she goes, no, I'm just. You should be glad to see what you've achieved.
It looks
You know,
fantastic.
You came here and you helped purge this place of evil. You've given Robin and Anne and children a home, and you've allowed us to help, and it's given us access to some extra food and some. Basically, she alludes to the fact that they've organised some sort of deal where they get a percentage of the crops for their assistance in cleansing the land.
Which makes sense.
And it seems to be a very fair deal. It's an 80-20 in favour of Anne and Thingo. So,
Gotcha.
yeah, she doesn't give you too many details. She doesn't, but she's very
I can get him out
seems
of
very
it.
pleased with the situation. And, yeah, you could, but you don't
I
need
don't
to.
need to.
She's-
It'd be a
she's,
waste. It'd be a waste of my persuasion.
Yeah, basically. But she seems very happy, and she seems to think that you should be proud of what you've achieved, even if it wasn't what you set out to do. You've definitely improved the life of the people of Balar and the local.
Oh, that's great.
That's awesome. I'm glad we had an effect. A net positive effect.
Yes.
Well, we best be on our way.
Yes, I believe.
Yeah, as you're leaving, she sort of bids you adieu, and your that Sibylline gem is humming,
Oh.
sort of actively vibrate, like it's like giving you like an alarm, like you
Beep, beep.
can
Sorry,
feel
I'm
it
gonna take
humming.
this.
So
Sorry, just gonna take this gem. Hey,
The
Eduardo,
two-
you
the
need
two
to
of
come. You
you-
need to come near me.
Yeah. I just saw something.
yeah, you might want to get. Oh, go on.
What'd you say?
I think it's just me looking into things. That lady that you're in front of right there. Yep. Have a look at her chest.
Oh, she's got Wolfie boobs.
No, it's a lion.
That's a
Well, don't worry about
Oh,
it.
never mind.
It's a lion's corpse.
Eduardo,
Well, fur.
come to me and we will do whatever it is that we're meant to do to activate the gem.
Right.
I throw it.
So do you remember the instructions on how to do it?
Not even a little bit, but I searched my memories.
All right. You remember that you basically take your index finger, tap on it 3 times, turn it to the left, and tap on it again.
There's no
That's
place like... Oh, there we go.
There's no place to like where we're going.
I was going to say, I don't know where we're going. There's no,
Okay,
there's no place like
you
reporting
feel-
for duty.
You, as you tap on it for the last time, you sort of feel very lightheaded, and all of a sudden, you sort of feel lightheaded, almost like you're going unconscious, and then you land.
To the outpost.
You land badly. You didn't make it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you,
That's right.
land.
And this
You
is where
land.
the story ends.
That should make that a percentage roll chance.
Yeah.
You just dissipate,
just
like
feel
you're
like
just
dying
being missed
mid-trouble.
on the other end.
You land 200 meters under the sea. You're dead.
Here we are.
Whoa.
Okay.
Calm down. Oh, they were red. I thought they were bad.
No, I think that is warm.
Oh, these
Yeah,
guys are
they
also
were.
hot. Hell yeah.
Here we
Why
are.
are they warm?
Lanara,
I don't know, I'm not warm.
Lanara is right next to you. She's just
Yeah, she
she
is.
greets you.
Was-
Greetings.
This is the one.
You're
I-
late.
I speak telepathetically. This is the one that we don't fully trust.
Why am I clicking? Hold on, sorry. I'm clicking. I clicked on the ground. But
Greetings, are we late? I thought we were just on time.
My alarm went off.
Did the gem start to vibrate?
It vibrated telling me we were just on time.
Yeah. That was it about to explode.
Oh, well,
Well,
that's not very nice. You didn't tell
Just
me that
in
part.
time.
She didn't
Wow,
tell us
straight
that.
to it.
Sorry,
Winston.
she's- No, why are you doing that? Oh my god.
Yeah, that happened to me too.
I'm pointing one way. I'm pointing. You know what it is? I think it's the camera on this zone.
Oh.
So, she's just gonna appear over here. And,
Jesus, quick.
She's a wily one.
yeah, now it works.
There we
Okay,
go.
she's fine.
Awesome.
Okay,
We shall follow you.
so she's gonna go through these 2 doors. She's gonna
I'll
unlock
tell
them.
this torch. I also.
You never know what's gonna happen when you're designing a level. Sometimes I open doors all the time by accident. It's a nightmare
Here we
because
go.
they just all right. And she
Happens
goes.
to me in real life.
She sort of walks up the steps a little and she goes.
Come on now.
The archivist has been waiting to see you for a while. She's up there.
Oh, ma.
When you're ready, I'll meet you at the gate there. And you see like a sort of just a basic chain of a barred door.
Can I,
Across.
before she walks off, can I get a sense of her demeanor?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, do a perception check. You remember she wasn't too pleased
Yeah, that's what I remember.
with
That's why I
you.
was. But
last
then
time
she's
because
taking
you-
us to the archivist, and now I'm like conflicted.
The archivist knows you already. You've met her.
Oh boy.
In the
That's
back
one
of my
one
head-
Basically-
one of my famous fours.
You don't feel well, that's your average. But you don't feel anything different. She seems to be just as displeased with you and just disinterested in. She doesn't like you because she knows something. She said, I know what she iterated that she knew what was going on with Parthen. She knows Parthen's involved.
Right.
Right,
Okay,
and
well,
she
I
doesn't
understand
like
that. I understand. If she doesn't like Parthen, that makes sense.
Yeah, I honestly, in the
So-
back of my mind, I feel like I trust her more than anyone else because
Well, she's taken us here.
Well, not just that, but she's straight down the line. Like she's suspicious, like she should be, instead of trusting everything. You know, like
And she was very like coy with you. She was very like to Winston. She was very like, "What are you playing at? What's this game? You know who you are." And apparently, you didn't know that. There was a
No,
Of that
I
house.
didn't. Yeah.
so, and that was uncommon. But the archivist greets you.
Yeah.
Ah, my boys.
Oh,
she
God,
just turned
Eduardo,
around a bit.
please contain yourself, I say telepathetically.
hello.
So lovely to see you.
Greetings! Many people tell us we
You're-
need to speak to you.
You're looking well. Oh,
Oh.
and who may they be?
Someone of pineapple in nature. and,
Oh,
some,
that's not. She doesn't recognize. She does a pineapple.
and someone of Lanara in nature.
Ah, yes, Lanara. She sort of walks away from you a little bit and she sits down. She goes, "I've been on my feet all day. I'm just going to take a seat while we chat." She just
Please,
sort
I'll
of sits
take
down
one
and leans
also.
back in her chair.
None for
Yes,
you.
and she sort of just she goes to you. What do you know of the dwarf?
Oh, he's getting straight into it. Don't worry, Eduardo, you can sit on this.
Oh, thank you. I can examine it. It's got 200% resistance to water. So...
Oh, damn, we didn't notice that.
Whoosh. Whoa. Alright, something's going on in there.
There's some flayers over there.
So we're talking flay. So we're talking about... Thank you. So, Parthen, yes. We know that he's a small dwarf man who likes to tickle elves.
Parthen, who is this Parthen you speak of?
Oh.
What was the question again?
Well, she
I
said,
just
tell us
asked
about
you
this
what
dwarf.
you knew of dwarves, and you
Dwarves in
immediately said the
general.
name Parthen, so I
Went
assumed
straight
it was
in.
a dwarf.
You need
But
to
you
be
know.
careful, Eduardo.
Oh, yes.
We're
Sorry.
getting to the pointy end of all of this now.
Parthen me. I meant to say...
Path and me.
Did,
You are
You're gonna accidentally summon him through the bloody voice communication.
You're like,
thing.
oh, yeah.
See, you gotta be careful because he might sense where you are.
Oh, she'll
you-
play along.
Yes.
She'll play along.
You
Okay.
are lucky.
Sure, you can have my pardon.
Lucky.
Yes.
And she goes. So what do you know of the dwarves?
Dwarves. We know a bit. We know where they came from, supposedly. We know
Where would that be?
they were, from our belief, they were created from a single dwarf.
Elf.
From what we did you say elf in my head? I was like,
So you know a little bit of Kavar, do you?
yes, we do, but things may be not as they have been told. I meant to say things maybe not be what they seem, but they seem that way because I was told.
I think everyone's pretty much used to you being you.
Thank you. My speech patterns all like they're off.
Anyway, she goes, yes.
They killed me.
What do you know of their culture and their sort of structure?
I know that they like to live underground, and they are short in stature.
And they don't like long walks on the beach.
No.
Ah, that's a misnomer. They do, but only in magma beaches.
Oh, archivist, you're so wise.
So she sort of chuckles to herself, and she goes, "Yes. Did you know that there were 6 dwarves
Yes,
born in the beginning?"
we did know that.
Yes, we
Oh,
did.
you did. Not many know that. And do you know that they were known as exemplars of certain traits of dwarven society?
Oh, we did know that as
Yes,
well.
we
Yes,
did.
we did.
Oh, you did. That's interesting. Did you know that there were 2 hemispheres of these exemplars? There were the societal exemplars and the exemplars, or the martial exemplars.
No.
Oh, I don't think we knew
Oh,
that.
yes.
Oh, archivist, you've got
Yes.
us again.
Yes, there were. Let's start with
Andrew.
the social. There was Adana, or diligence in common, Perioth, honor, and Volun, or subjugation. And those were the 3 pillars upon which dwarven society were built.
Intriguing.
There were also 3 more. The exemplars, martial exemplars, or exemplars of war. There was pride, known in dwarf as Lavuk, glory, Gavak, and cunning, Veloch.
That sounds familiar,
Oh.
doesn't it?
Some of that does sound familiar.
It appears Veloch piqued your interest. May I ask why?
Of course you can. I have. Hold on. Let me.
Let's telepathetically.
Yeah, the cryptic note. Should I put it in front of it? Where it says, "Belloc must receive the shipment at any cost, your life included."
Yeah. And also, did any of those names ring close to these weapons that we have?
I was thinking the same thing. Not that I could remember. Well, we can run a check on that, I guess.
That's exactly what I was about to do. Yeah, what do you think?
Oh yeah.
There he goes. There he goes. Just a rolling 3.
Okay, Eduardo, you don't remember anything about those weapons.
Oh.
You do remember. You've heard the word Velok before.
That's right. We did know that.
I will put this.
And where did you hear it? Well,
On that note.
it wasn't in that. You've heard it before.
Oh, you've
Oh.
heard it. Oh. Do you want
Now, you remember back
Ooh.
to the fateful night you were enlisted in Kavar's service. There was a word that Ferdinand used to summon Partha.
Oh.
And it was Velok.
Oh, shitballs. So he was lying to us again. He said he wasn't one of the
That's
six.
right, because we did ask
We
him.
did. We
He
pushed
said
him
he was
raw.
one of their children.
He said he was one of the
Yes.
children. We pushed him hard on that.
Yeah.
So he kind of closely told us, but didn't quite fully
What a
tell us.
shit dog.
Yes.
That.
Huh. Okay.
We may. Should we tell her?
I think we should tell her. I trust her.
Okay, so do I. Well, she's like an all-knowing
She's surrounded
person.
by many leather-bound books.
She must be a smarts. There's lots of grotesque jars with delicious ingredients.
Well, that's just things that you could eat later on.
Exactly.
They're treats.
For later. We may know of a Velok. We may also...
We may know of a Velok that we may have met.
Yes, I think we may have met this Velok.
She chuckles. Velok is a myth.
Oh.
They're all myths. They're just structures put in place to keep the dwarves ready for war.
Well, what about this?
There's no way. She goes, there's no way a god of cunning would be walking around the countryside.
I say, well, check
She
out
seems
this.
rather
You gotta slam it
sarcastic,
down and
maybe
go, and you have to do like
sardonic.
ace, what is it?
Yeah.
Objection! Bling!
This may not prove much, but why would someone write this note?
She reads it and she says, oh, anyone could write that. It doesn't mean anything. She seems to be very sarcastic, almost as if she's certain
She's kind of like talking down to us because she thinks.
she's fucking with you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I placed this weapon on the table.
She's
What
not-
about this?
She's not dwarven, is she?
No, she's human.
I placed that weapon on the
Wait,
table
no?
that we found.
Barely.
She gasps. She goes, fucking put that away now.
Okay.
And you sort of hide that behind your cloak.
Yeah, it's it.
Make sure it's not visible. She goes, it's foolish to bring that here.
Why?
I can't say any more.
Oh.
Not here.
Not here. Can we go somewhere else to talk?
Tell
Meet you at the shelter
she
shed
sort
in
of
school, yeah.
she looks at you. She looks at you, Eduardo, and she goes,
Fuck off.
our mutual friend was foolish to send you here with that.
Oh. What does she mean by that?
I think that's mutual friend.
There
might
are
be Mr.
many
Nabnap.
eyes and many ears.
Oh yeah, because he did tell us to go and talk. Okay.
Okay, so
How do we?
Lenara will want you to meet Aethris. Meet Aethris, and then I will work something out.
Okay. Well, we've definitely piked her interest.
yes, Aethris Ventura. It seems.
Quick to the backhand. Okay.
Yes. Let us.
All
go.
right.
Well, we
So if you want to go down the stairs and towards the gate, that's where it is.
Oh, whoops.
Towards the stairs. What did you do?
Sorry.
You buggers!
In our haste, we knocked
You
over
weren't satisfied with Eduardo doing it last time, and you had to do it
I
too.
didn't do it
And
on
you
purpose.
know better. You knew that would happen.
I didn't do it on purpose.
Why,
I
Winston,
I actually
why?
clicked to move because the way I move is by clicking and holding like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I clicked to move, and the
Oh,
chair
yeah.
went.
You're just like, thanks, we'll be outside.
Oh, got your chair.
Oh,
Far
That's
out.
really
as Benny Hill starts playing.
Okay, so we're here.
Well, that sounded like Phantom Menace.
Yes, oh, yeah, that'd be a much more dangerous version of the Benny Hill episode.
It's like chasing people around.
And then it's
Yeah.
running.
Okay.
At the gate.
She says, "Well, I'm glad you're done with your chat."
Oh,
Oh,
she's so
very nice.
grumpy.
She guides you through. She goes, "Keep your hands to yourself,
Okay.
especially you." And she
I squeeze it out of
pointedly
them.
looks at Eduardo.
Oh, okay, cool. I was like, you didn't say.
Okay.
All right.
There's some stone
Guide
hatches
you up
around.
the stairs.
I am scoping out everything
Yeah, I
on
was
the way
gonna
though.
have a look around.
And as you're walking up, you hear some chatter, some talking.
Oh,
But as you enter, you see nothing but a man.
oh, who are you talking to? Crazy.
Now, don't get too close. Okay. Both of
You
you,
talk to you, crazy.
Katie.
you can- both of you make a perception roll.
Oh, look at that! I see
Yeah, look at
things.
that.
So you're telepathically sharing these things at the moment, so your roles sort of come together. You notice that the armor he's wearing is basically identical to Winston's.
Oh wow! Yeah.
But since it's made of a much higher, it's definitely made of sturdier
Maybe
stuff.
he'll notice
and
that
it's
mine was
also-
stolen.
Well, yes, but yours was stolen from the Utara originally. Oh no, yours was stolen from that from Olaf's delivery
Oh,
thing.
that's
And
right.
Olaf was sending it this direction.
Ah, that's right. I was searching behind it to see if there was any vanishing rats, but there was not.
nothing.
No.
It
But,
does seem like where that's
You
where one
also
would be.
notice that he bears a weapon carrying the wolf's head,
I did notice that.
similar to yours, but he has lions on the back of his cape.
Rawr.
Interesting.
Kitty
So-
cat.
Okay.
And the talking stopped the moment Lenara's boots went up the top steps. She introduced you. I'm very sorry, Mike. You just heard my balls then. My microphone. I caught it with my thighs too. I'm glad it didn't make too much noise.
Yeah. They sounded
my microphone-
voluptuous.
I think the clip might have broken. I'm not sure. It doesn't look broken, but it's not holding up like it used to be.
Oh, shit.
Sorry about that.
It's all
It
right.
happens over time.
But it's happened. It's happened twice now. It's a bit annoying. Okay, but she introduces you. She goes.
She's warm. We're not warm.
Yeah, they're all
So
warm.
Aetherus.
He's not warm.
That's yeah. Well, maybe you'll find out. Maybe you won't.
Mhm.
But that's my way of saying it's a glitch. Lenara introduces you. She goes, "Our
I was waiting for
our
it to be like really
friends over
dry.
here, are Aetherus."
Yes,
And
yeah.
Aetherus says, "Thank you, Lenara. That will be all." And she walks off. And he's sort of looking down at his book still, and he goes, "Oh, cousin, so lovely to see you."
Hi.
I like shockedly like point. I'm like,
What does it mean?
That was magnificent. Everything just went dead silent. But he turns to you, bumping chests like good cousins do.
Yeah. Oh, bring it
He
in.
turns to you and he puts his hand out and he says, "Welcome home."
Do I know that I'm home?
Well, yeah, okay, make a memory check.
I almost accidentally attacked the table.
hey.
Oh, that's a 20, baby.
Six, 5 tonight. Or 6 maybe.
Okay, so yeah, you're doing really well tonight, and then you still hit. How many
I
natural
still
ones?
get
did you
some. I
tonight
still get some bad rolls as well.
Yeah, how many
Get a
natural
better
ones?
Oh, you
rolls
still
today.
do all right. Okay, so you made a perception roll and you've made a. You passed them both well and truly. The architectural design.
Because that's a big statement.
You see now, if you want to zoom out as far as you can, and look away at the actual structure. So look away from him and just zoom out. The place is just zoom out and turn to the right with the camera. Yeah, now zoom out as far as you can.
That's as far as I can zoom.
I mean, yeah. So you can see it's a massive. Like this is enormous.
Yeah.
This is a manor. It's a fort as well as a. And you recognize the construction as things you'd seen in like charcoal drawings of your mother's home.
Oh wow.
Huh. Oh wow.
Similar architecture to your mother's home. So not necessarily your mum's
Not
home,
necessarily the exact same place. Yeah.
but built from the same family. It's definitely House Goran, the house of your mother.
Jeez, it's a
Your mum's
big old
house.
place.
It is immense, but it's clearly in like it's been sieged.
It's not doing well.
Yeah, no, it's a very state of disrepair.
Yeah. And so he puts his hand out to shake your hand and says, "Welcome home."
And I shake
How
his
do you
hand back.
It's a very firm grip, and he almost pulls you in in a sort of Trumpy way.
I was going to
not
say
quite.
like a Trumpy way. I was
Yeah, he
literally
sort of
gonna say.
pulls you in and kind of brings you, but he doesn't being too dickish. He's just sort of getting a grasp of your physical strength.
Andrew is already putting the listing out on realestate.com. Unique fixer-upper.
Yeah.
25 bedrooms.
I was about to say 25 bedrooms. What the fuck?
Ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. We've
One
known
and
each
the
other
same.
way too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
25 open air.
Yeah.
It's a convertible house.
Yeah.
he also extends his hand to you, Eduardo, and he says,
And he says, "Yoop."
"Any friend of my family is welcome here."
Oh, there you go.
Thank
He
you.
seems pretty genuine so far. He's my cuz,
He
bro.
shakes your hand, and it's a firm shake, but it's not too bad.
Not as Trumpy.
Awesome.
No, it's not quite as Trumpy.
I screw my face up in like preparation for my hand to get smushed, but it didn't, so I'm okay.
That may come across rude.
I'm like,
And he sort of says, sort of looks at you surveying the house, the land, and he goes, "Yes, this is what our own kind will do to us if we don't stick together."
What do you mean by that?
Well, this is the work of our own magisters.
Really?
why?
My father did not produce an heir of magical ability, and we were left to rot.
Oh shit! That is like
That's awful.
abandoned them. That's terrible, cousin.
Well, it appears more than they were more than abandoned.
Yeah.
It's clearly been
They're,
seen.
like actually like attacked.
Yeah.
Well, that's ridiculous.
And he sort of starts to rail off in sort of a monologue of sorts. And he goes, "This is what happened. This is it. 1,000 years we held Gorin there, and just because I can't shoot thunderbolts out of my fingertips, we are abandoned." You notice
On the table.
I was going to say
that
there's stacks of.
you would notice this.
Oh, we
Winston. You notice that the lions the way the lions are aligned on the cape. He's someone in his family, most likely his mother, because his father is Gorin if he carries the Gorin name. Appears to be House Hurvak, and they are known for their martial prowess.
Interesting. So he's a of warrior.
The warrior card.
Well, you can see on his face he's got a pretty serious scar across his eye,
So
and
that's
I believe one near his lip too. He looks pretty battled up, and his grip was severe.
all was trumpish.
Like it wouldn't surprise you if he could rip your gauntlet,
Yeah, he seems
not your arm, but rip the gauntlet off, right off your armor.
he seems quite powerful,
Very strong boy.
very physically
And,
strong. But obviously
He
he's
sort of
doesn't have the power. He's got all these scrolls here. I noticed all these
Like
spells and
runes.
things, and it doesn't look like he can actually use them.
Yeah.
well, scrolls can be used by anyone, but
this is
actually
him, like,
using the
supplementing.
spells properly.
Same with runes.
Yeah, scrolls can be used by anyone, but they aren't as powerful. The more powerful you are with magic, the more powerful the scroll is. And the runes are the things you attach to your
To your
weapons and
weapons,
your
that's
armor.
right, yeah.
So they can be used for anyone. So he appears to be supplementing his inability, and he also appears to be quite powerful. Like he really looks like his armor looks very like almost like it doesn't even look like it sits on his body. It looks like it's being held almost in a field upon him.
Yeah, right.
That's interesting.
He's he like looking at his power. He looks immense. If you actually look at his
Yeah,
stats,
he can take on
it's like ridiculous.
a horse.
Makes me look very weak by
And
comparison.
he also reads very big books, so he's got to be strong.
That's right. Lift on that
Those
book.
pages.
Yes, yes. Okay, Eduardo, you've noticed something very interesting. There,
Oh, by accident.
Oh, big old book!
Oh, well,
And you're like, yes.
The table appears to be set up with. There seems to be a little bit of food and a little bit of water. There's definitely more than. He's not the only person in the room right now.
Yeah, because he was talking to someone. Maybe we should make light of that.
Mm.
Cousin, we heard you talking as we came up the stairs. Are we alone? Are we the only three here?
I think we're alone
Oh.
now.
Are we ever alone? Really?
No.
But are
All
we?
sorts of things floating
That's
around.
it, but are
He
we?
sort of points to a bird.
Well, he actually
He's
really
got a point.
He really is drunk.
There's a bird flying around.
Come on now. We're family. You can tell me the truth.
Are you pushing
I
me?
sway persuasively.
It should be like, do you talk to birds, dear?
Do you?
Uh-huh.
Here we go.
Not bad.
That's a three. No, it's not. That was more.
He looks at Eduardo and he looks at you and he goes, "I can smell one on you anyway." And he clicks his fingers. And
when he said I could smell one on you, I thought he was talking about this as well.
Nope.
Yeah, there's this. And he could smell the this on you.
Yeah.
and both of you make perception checks.
Yeah, that bears some questions.
Oh,
We're working out some stuff with the rolls.
cancel that one.
What
that one.
is this?
Cancel, I can't wait. It's just...
You roll. Yeah, it's my bad. My bad.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I wanted, like, this was, oh wow, they are not great rolls. All right, okay.
Oh, I shall pass
So
that. I'll tell you.
Winston recognizes immediately that they're quite a bit taller than Uncle Pineapple, so they're definitely female, and they are a much different color. He's sort of like a sort of a slightly dull yellow, and they're like an iridescent blue, like a pastel blue.
So they might not even be affiliated.
So yeah, and you have some knowledge of this. You had a pretty extensive education as a child. Different colors mean different birth location.
Oh, interesting. Andrew says there's this
Different
one and
minerals.
that one.
This one and this one and this one. You also need to both make perception rolls.
And attack rolls.
Yeah. It's like a constitution because of this sickness.
Okay, so Winston, you sort of feel a bit uncomfortable. You think there's more than you're not quite sure, but you have this uneasy feeling that not everything has been revealed.
Yeah.
And Eduardo, you know for certain that someone is invisible.
Oh, well, you should call that out directly.
Winston!
Or should I call it out?
It's
Alright,
invisible.
I'll do it.
Hold on, let me see if we've got any sort of like
Throw some sand on them.
Yes. Ah!
Well, you know that there's someone, so you've told me. I'll engage?
Well,
Yeah.
it's like, how do you want to play it? Do you want to play it bullish? Do you want to play it sneaky? How do you want to play it?
I'm thinking, like, we just spoke to him. We convinced him to reveal, and he didn't fully reveal. So I'm just going to sort of push one more time, I think.
Yep.
Unless you want to do something else.
I don't
tell
think
me.
we've really got anything. I can try that. I'll come up with something else.
Okay. Cousin. I know that all has not been revealed. Come on, man.
Come on, mate. Come on.
Come on, man.
You know what's going on.
Persuasion. Ooh, this one's been at a higher penalty.
It's not a persuasion check.
Oh, it's not a persuasion check.
No, you were making a save.
Oh.
Oh.
Jesus.
What the hell?
What's
He
happening?
grabs you firmly by the arm.
Gonna lose a gauntlet.
You feel like it's going to break. And he grabs you really hard and he goes, rather perceptive, are we?
Should I say yes?
Or is it the elf?
Or is it the elf?
Hello.
So he's picked up that you two are communicating.
Okay, well, who cares? That's fine. You can kill us in one hit
Reveal
anyway.
yourself. And then he says reveal himself, nothing happens.
Oh.
And then you see the central lizard sort of dip her head. And someone appears behind you.
Oh, who's this dude?
Oof, badass. Jeez, look at that staff.
Uh-oh. Nice pickup, Mr. Eduardo.
Oh, I don't think me thinking.
Eduardo, you notice that staff is almost identical to the one that Cavale had.
Oh.
Very interesting.
And you know that the name meant to turn it against one's enemy.
Shit's getting
And it
real.
matches the armor of the people carrying it. It appears to be a part of a set.
Okay. You hear me. I transfer that straight to you as well. Okay.
Well, should I just we just ask? So what's going on here?
Yeah, like, hey.
I'm just gonna ask. So what's going on here?
I intend to take back House Gorin.
And who do you
The
intend to take it
Utara
from?
are at my hand. I am their leader, and they follow me, and not the Magisters.
Okay, well I can understand why he would want to do that,
Yeah, so far it's not really...
given that they just wanted to destroy. But who
Had
are...
had your mother not chosen the home continent, you would have ended up like us.
As in destroyed?
You are as at risk as any of us. You're clearly a man of the sword. You wouldn't be if you'd showed any magical aptitude.
But I do have control over magic.
Ah, you have since you took Kavar's. And the other things are all enchanted amulets. You had no magical aptitude when you started the journey.
I thought I had,
You were only
I
a
had one
hand.
point in necromancy, but okay.
Necromancy isn't magic.
Oh,
necromancy and summoning are pacts.
Huh.
With a, they're like anyone can do basic woodwork. If you know what I mean, like
Oh,
anyone can
interesting.
glue
Including
some
me.
wood pieces together. Yeah. It's not like the elemental magics.
Glue
Gotcha.
some arms together, necromancy.
Yeah.
Necromancy.
All of the stuff you can do that affects the elements or existence is like summoning. You can literally you just throw a thing on the ground and it'll call the being out.
Ah, okay,
Gotcha.
gotcha.
So that's how it works. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's not necessarily so. Yeah, and all the magical abilities you've only been able to use since you know one or two that you actually know, and you've only known them since you've taken on Kavar's.
Interesting.
mix.
Basically, Kavar's. And he goes, these magisters have taken their power. They've done deals with the devil. And he sort of goes off on this tangent. He doesn't seem unstable, but he seems very distraught, very angry.
Yeah.
And he sort of calms down and he says to you, I know this is a very quick sort of reckoning we've had, but I intend to take back House Gorin. And I'd like you to join me in that effort.
Is there any reason the Magisters are doing this?
Are you asking him?
Yes.
Because he doesn't know
You ask
magic.
him directly, is there any reason the Magister is doing this?
Yeah, specifically to you.
He says, many reasons. Greed, hatred of non-magical beings, the disgust with our inability to manifest the elements.
Can I
Many reasons.
Can I do a roll to see
None
if
of them
that's
valid.
like?
Yeah, you want to make a perception?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I might do as well.
No, you both want to do that.
Difficult to know whether to trust him because he's asking us to kill and
Exactly.
fight with him.
It's a bit convenient. He's like, cousin, come home.
From what you can
But
tell,
I
he's
did notice
telling-
that I am related to him.
from what you can tell, he appears to be telling the truth. He believes it.
I was gonna say maybe
He
He doesn't
believes
appear to be lying.
Yeah.
Maybe the Magisters have a reason.
Okay, we'll ask him. And what parts of the Zis play in all of this? I ask not just at him because that would be rude. I ask it whilst looking at them as well.
Yeah, you sort of say it to the room.
Yeah.
These Zis are a very complicated people. There are many of them. Not all of them are war hungry. Not all of them seek control. Some of them, like our friends here, just want to live quietly in peace. But they cannot when their kin are roaming the world. Our ancestors sided with our own captors. Now he's talking about the enslaved humans. And that is why they carry magic in their blood. They had the option to live in peace with the elves, but they sought power from the Zis and turned on the decent slaves that were left with them. And that is what founded our house. Betrayal.
Watch,
You can make perception rolls if you want.
Yeah, please.
roll it up.
Rolling.
Ooh.
That's all right, I got you back.
Yeah, you don't really. You're not sure. You're pretty conflicted. But Eduardo's
I know.
pretty certain he's telling the truth. Pretty certain it appears to be accurate.
You give me a
There's
mental
this-
head nod.
And Eduardo does get the feeling that these just remind him of Uncle Pineapple in the sense that they don't seem. He's getting a sort of a similar aura. They don't seem like bad people.
Well, because you've been around with this.
But also, how dodgy does, like, out of character, how dodgy does Uncle Pineapple seem?
Yeah, but you trust him.
I do. That's what I mean, so I trust these guys.
And
What
so
does that
far,
say?
he's not lying to us. This is going to be the cliffhanger, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe. My thoughts are, is there any way to contact the Magisters? Where are they?
Who are they?
Sorry, the mic cut out then. What did you say? Contact who?
Sorry. The Magisters. Like, where are they and who are
You're
they?
not going to contact them. What do you mean by
The
contact?
Magisters reside in Guelafra. Now, the main city.
Yeah.
We haven't been there yet, have we?
No, that's where you were originally meant to go, but everything got sidetracked.
That's right.
First the storm, then this, then that, then several storms, lots of storms,
Lots of things
weather
stopped
events.
us from getting there. Things that maybe were manufactured.
Interesting.
What you want to do?
This is us talking to each other telepathically.
Yeah.
Well, he looks at you and he says, I understand this is a lot to absorb. Feel free to take your time around. You're free to leave. You're free to go anywhere you'd like. But I won't. But he basically says you can leave at any time. But unless you need to tell me what you're doing before you leave, because I need to know that whether you're an enemy or.
Yeah, and I can kind of
Basically.
understand that
So-
stance.
Yeah. So he says, come back to me, converse amongst yourselves. I am under the belief that you and the archivist know each other. I'm pretty sure she's waiting out on the dock for you.
Actually, maybe it'd be best for us to talk to her first.
Yeah, I think so.
So I trust her implicitly at the moment.
Yeah. She seems so
Very well, cousin. It is unfortunate that we have met in such trying times. I will confer with Eduardo and we will give you our final decision. It's the final decision.
Feel free.
I nod
Please.
solemnly.
See the carnage that the Magisters have wrought upon us.
It is quite damaged.
I
Shall we?
yeah. As we walk,
You can talk to me.
yeah. I'm concerned. I'd like to speak to the Magisters or find out why. Just I feel like it's
But
hard.
that's what you would do in any D&D game always.
Yeah.
You try to talk to the goblins that are running at us with swords.
Well, these guys, I find it's hard. It's like you don't use magic, you must be destroyed. Like
Well,
you
that's
know.
their stance, not ours. Not these guys.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like I feel
Alright.
like that's hard to reason.
If you just want to walk towards the dock, you can chat away, but walk towards the dock. That's where the.
Oh, yeah.
Where's the
I'm
dock?
running towards
Am
the
I
dock.
going the right way?
Follow me.
Back where you came from. Back where you came from. Where you entered. Where you entered.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, So, look, you can ask her about that. You have noticed that most of the Utara are not magically inclined. So the Utara is House Goran's military arm, right? And they are a mercenary group, but really they answer to House Goran.
Well, they've only been doing good.
Yeah.
So far, that's all you've seen.
Yeah.
They're disbanding slavers. They're, all that. So nothing you've seen has
good
been
stuff.
negative.
Yeah. And also this archivist
Heavily
is of the Utara.
militaristic, though. Heavily militaristic. They
Yeah.
are very strict.
They're definitely, yeah. Archivist?
Okay, so you walk up to the archivist. She sort of doesn't say a word and puts her hand out to suggest to just stay where you are.
Gotcha.
She walks over to the monolith and deactivates it. She turns around and says, "We've got about a minute.
What do we need to
I
do?
believe you have become rather... You've spoken to Aethris?
Yes.
Yes.
He has his... He's not a bad man. And he has been... he has suffered considerably. He was sent away at 5 to learn the ways of, the art of war, really. And he was trained, when he came back at 22, a man, fully adept in combat, He came back to a house that had been left. It hadn't been sieged, but it had been left to decay. His father had died, and his mother had become incredibly sickly, and they'd been left to rot because they were of no use to House Garn. This position was no longer necessarily strategic, and they didn't have any magically gifted children. So they were left
just abandoned
to fend for themselves.
That makes more sense to me.
Well, that's what he said.
Yeah, but I mean, like, they were attacked. Sorry.
Yeah, Aethris the 11th died. His mother was dying, so he sent her home, and in a rage, he threatened the Magister. So they brought this place to the ground.
That's more like it.
But they still attacked. He threatened. He didn't actually attack anybody.
Yeah.
They still threw the first fireball.
Basically, yeah. She goes, it was a maelstrom of brimstone.
Like, if they're willing to abandon him in the first place, and then willing to decimate him just for speaking out.
I don't sound like good people.
That sounds like oppressors more than the oppressed.
Now, what you've noticed is that she is magically attuned.
Yeah.
Clearly, you've seen her around.
We
She's
definitely understand
pretty
that.
powerful. And she goes, he intends to tear them down.
What do you
destroy them.
intend?
It could destroy House Garn.
What do you intend, Archivist?
I intend to take my position as a Magister. I intend to try and do the old change it from the inside. I have to keep him tempered. We've already lost at least 4 of our best. Thankfully, Penelope has recovered their weapon. She says, I don't think destroying the current Magister is the way to go.
Well, more death is not necessarily the right thing to do after previous death.
I'm of that belief as well.
She basically says, I have 2 choices. Join Aethris and take my place after it's... Take my place.
Yeah, after the
and
after
end
the carnage.
Aethris. Basically has to put Aethris down one way or another. Or satiate him somehow, destroy him, or side with him. Sort of her 2 options.
You don't think that he can be talked down from his position?
Very little would... I mean, she thinks it's an option, but it's very difficult.
If we can get him to understand, because he's embattled, he is oppressed, and he's very, like, vehemently defensive about his
he's right
position.
on the brink.
So, as you could tell before, when he went into that raving monologue,
Yeah.
he's almost losing it. So,
But he was like, just.
yeah.
So I'm going to ask
Basically,
should we ask the Archivist whether she will join us in trying to talk, like trying to explain? He must know that the Archivist has magic ability.
she has a plan.
Okay.
So
Okay.
she intends to work with him for as long as possible, and try and keep. She doesn't like being involved with this, even though. So basically, she confirms that House Goran started on a betrayal. They turned against the other slaves, the elves. They burnt down their mother tree and built Whaler Friend.
Rude.
Checks out though.
So they're not good people.
No.
I mean, at least in the beginning.
Yeah. My bad.
And their magic is basically from the Zis. Now, humans had magic, but they are gifted.
Yeah.
And she goes on and she says, I have to keep him in line for now. He will get so many of these good Utara killed. They're strong, and they have weapons capable of, definitely capable of harming a mage. Right? And she goes on, she explains that she knows of the process that the dwarves used, and she was one of the first to perfect a less damaging version. Basically, people willingly give a portion of their essence, and it makes a weapon about 95% effective as the dwarven.
Interesting.
They willingly give up a piece of them.
So it's much less torturous.
So,
And
so that kind of brings us to the weapon that we have.
well, that actually brings you to 2 things. She looks at you and she says, I know the name.
It's Winston.
It's Winston. No. I know we're getting,
It's Winston.
this was going to happen eventually, but I know we're getting short on. So she basically says, another name, lay it down near the monolith, and she sort of looks at it, sort of not got much time left. She says, lay it down near the monument, near the monolith. So take your sword and lay it down.
My sword?
Oh.
Yep.
Okay. I'll do it.
Okay.
No, I don't have too much.
All right. She looks at it. She says, Tun Vok Varuk Karan. And it sort of hums a little. All right? She picks it up.
Fucking stole my sword.
Hey. See ya.
She throws it back on the ground. And you only you, Winston, hear Tharvul.
What does that mean?
And it almost as if you should say it. So Tharvul.
Farvul.
Tharvul.
Farvul.
Okay, close enough. It was sort of Nordic, and now it sounds like a Northern Englishman.
Farvul. Farvul, may I have some more?
Okay, so as you say those words, the sword lights up. Now, what would you say? You know, what's your temperament? Are you a fiery, personality, or are you sort of, do you go with the flow like the winds? Are you sort of a crashing wave, or are you a mudslide?
Mudslide.
Are you a mudslide?
I know it sounds bad, but I'm vamping right now.
I gotcha. I don't know, crashing wave
Yeah, why not?
of justice though.
The old crashing wave of justice.
Wave of justice.
Ooh.
As you feel like a cold wave rush over you, you see the weapon, and it looks a little different, almost as if the ocean is swimming through the blade.
Interesting.
Feel free.
I did like the air power that it had though, because it looked cool. All right, I can pick it up. It
Feel
says
free to pick it up.
it says that I'm going to steal it though.
Just pick it up. It's yours. Now equip it.
All right, I'm ready. Whoa.
You notice anything about it?
Let me just. Oh, it's looking watery and zappy. And
It no longer does physical damage.
yeah, I noticed that. There's only water and air.
Yep. So it'll shock and stun enemies immediately.
Huh.
If they have no magical armor.
Interesting.
And it's considerably more powerful.
It is much
Your
more powerful.
initiative, you've got retribution on it, more war power, more two-handed, more strength.
Oh, and +1 to persuasion.
Because that's what you need.
That was already there.
Oh,
That's
no,
that
that
bonus
was already
one.
there. Yeah.
But yeah, that was from the start. She sort of chuckles as the monolith sort of shakes a little. She chuckles and she goes, "We haven't got much time. I'll fill you in on a few more things, but fully awakened now, and it should grow with you much more. It should grow much more powerful with you, as long as you treat it well."
My sword is awake.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good
All right,
morning.
and she goes, "Before I go, I won't be able to speak to you again, not in confidence. I believe Parthen was the name you used for him.
That is correct.
Yes.
And I imagine the strength that I am sensing from the two of you that I didn't get the last time we met isn't totally natural, is it?"
That might be accurate too.
No. She's very perceptive.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Oh, we'd appreciate that.
I know of 4 of the exemplars that still roam the continent.
Ah.
I know where one is, and now I know where 2 are.
Can he be trusted?
Can you trust the god of cunning?
I don't think so.
Afnar. You know him?
Do we know
I
Afnar?
believe we know
we do.
Afnar. Who's Afnar again?
Parthen's mentioned him.
Yes. The name sounds familiar.
He's the
his
one
son?
that was hung, drawn, and quartered.
Nope. Yeah.
Remember the one? He's the one that came up with the weapons.
That's right. Yeah, he was the smith.
Oh, yeah.
Now the look on her face, she knows how to make weapons like him. She says Afnar lights up. She knows Afnar. You can gather that. You find Afnar, you're going to be in a lot better stead.
Gotcha. Where
Don't trust anyone.
shall we begin our journey?
Do what you will with Aethris. Go up, play along with it for now. He'll send you out. It'll probably be a few little basic tests. He's going to test your loyalty, fall on his side every time. He's a smart boy, but he's not that smart.
He's a good boy. Huh. We might have to side with him for now. It might be the greater good.
Play along with it.
And
I wouldn't trust Parthen further than I could throw him.
Pretty small.
Find Afnar.
okay.
But hold on. Quick little conversation. Wasn't Afnar, killed? Like hung, drawn, and quartered, and then like suspended in death, and then...
Yes, and then Kavar spoke to him and offered him redemption.
That's right. Yeah.
Now, so what you've gathered from this is that Afnar is one of the six, as is Parthen. Parthen sort of played that very
Well, yeah, he acted like he was
slyly.
a son of the sixth.
As is his want.
Yeah.
Close, but close enough so that his powers are warranted. Clever.
Yeah,
boy.
but you're 99.9% sure the exemplar of cunning.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes-
That's been like
It makes a lot more sense.
was so clever that we didn't doubt him because he's like, I'm up there, but he was actually.
So the archivist moves towards the monolith, activates it, and goes, I have business in Whaler, friend. I'll speak to you as soon as I can.
Very well,
And
Archivist.
apparates.
Thank
He
you.
just disappears.
Oh, goodbye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Have a good night.
All right. So, basically, all you have left to do is talk about, like, obviously, go through what you want. You basically, all you have to do is go tell Aethris, yes or no. So, talk what you want, but that's going to be the end of the, till season 2.
All right.
Talk amongst yourselves, and we can do some rolls, any revelations, but pretty much,
That's what we've got.
just for time's sake, and also, I'm done, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that we know that it's sort of, but yes, go for it, go for it.
fully
So
explore
let's
everything.
slowly walk up here while we're talking.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, caught in the door.
I think out of all of these major players and powers, that the Archivist seems to be the most trustworthy.
I agree. It doesn't seem like she's in for becoming minister out of greed. I don't think she'll betray Aethris.
No.
But I think she will try and change it from the inside.
Am I going the right way?
Nope.
Probably not.
This way.
Well, explore if you want. You can explore. I'm not going to hold you back. But basically, also,
Just have to be
I
mindful
should
of
say
time.
this. This was something she was meant to say. Just go for that.
Ooh, not 20.
Based on the name, mate, you're doing real well. Based on the naming convention, Aethris is probably Aethris was your mother's. Aethris's father was your mother's brother, probably.
Well, hold on.
Based on the naming, so you're definitely cousin,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
third or fourth.
I don't particularly want to have to kill him.
Kill him.
So where are we going? Up this way?
Up this way. Follow me. Should we have a chat to
Explore if you
Lenara?
want. I mean, you can have a look if you want.
I just don't, we're running out of time, that's all.
Should we chat to Lenara?
I don't think we have time.
She,
We're well past...
yeah, because I think it's like 10,
Since we're
10:35.
well past
yeah.
10.
So she basically points you towards Aethris and says,
Off you
I've
go.
got nothing to do with this.
Off you go then.
Thanks.
Alright. Any last revelations,
I
good man?
don't think he's going to be able to be reasoned with. Looks like we're going to have to placate him for the moment and then
That seems like the best way to go
act
for
in
now.
accordance. Yeah.
I'll be able to persuade him.
I don't know, man.
Okay. He welcomes you back. He says, do I have your answer?
You do.
Yes.
And you have my sword.
And my Smaller swords.
He sort of chuckles. He says, "Welcome to the war, my brothers."
Fade to black.
Yes.
Basically, yeah. And as that happens, you just feel a sense of how interesting in the back of your head.
Oh. How interesting. From Parthen.
That's
And that's it.
God,
That's it.
Parthen. Oh,
That's it. Alright, let's do you want to switch
Sorry, funky near the end there, but
No,
I did
no.
my best.
Oh, you've done well
to-
to put all that in.
That was not even joking, not trying to, but that was like about 10 episodes worth. 10 that I tried to, because I wanted you to get to a certain like revelation, but I didn't want you to miss out on. So we're not super over. We are.
that was great. Thank you, Nine Wounds, saying don't trust the dirty harpy.
Boys. Nine Wounds came in. You came in at a bad time.
Yeah,
I think.
right at the end there.
Oh.
Far out. There's so much going on. It just like the plot just sort of
Because I can
tripled.
tell that could have easily have been much more episodes because we got revealed, like we got intro to like some really key players, and we have to like kind of pick allegiances. But I like it because we can make a really bad decision. We don't know,
Absolutely.
but it's up to us to just kind of fumble through it and try and work it out,
Oh god.
which is awesome.
And Parthen was listening.
So, was he listening?
Listen, how interesting.
He did.
Well, that was the feeling you got.
It's
It
a
wasn't
feeling.
necessarily words, but you still got a
I was like,
sensation of how
intrigue.
Isn't that? I know that was a good way to finish it. It was like
Yeah.
finish and then like a secret finish at the
Oh,
end.
he called you like.
I know. I was actually like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. Really bad decision to standard fare. Yeah, that's exactly right, Andrew.
That's how we operate.
Cool. So, first and foremost, thank you, Metric Dun, for putting all that together and for condensing it all down. I know that was a lot of work on your behalf to do that for us, and you were working around our schedule, so we really appreciate that.
And it was seamless, mind you.
That's all right.
It didn't feel like forced or anything like that. It did still feel
No,
like
no, it felt like it
really,
flowed-
really well.
Flowed really
I think
naturally.
I think the end was a bit heavy there, but I could have done a bit.
No, but like that information was crucial.
Yeah, given the constraints.
Cut the
it really
first
well.
fight a bit shorter, maybe a few less of the gurn.
Oh no, that
No, that was cool.
really good. They kept
That was
coming like,
epic.
oh,
yeah, no, it's great. It's a really cool
Yeah.
like, final battle to finish out the season. Yeah, it's awesome. All right, well, we are well over time, so I'm probably gonna have to call it a day.
Pip it there.
unfortunately. But thank you very much for everyone that stayed for us. Yes, Andrew, you're right. Lots of fun. We're gonna put together, which we're really excited about.
Oh yeah.
We're going to put together an entire season, like a bridged version. So we're going to take all of the little videos we did as the episodes went, and we'll weave them together. Weave them together in a way that it's seamless. So there's not going to be like next time and then it goes to the next thing. Like it'll all be one narrative.
One
And
conglomerate.
so hopefully we'll get it down to around about, what do you reckon, like 45 minutes roughly?
Something like that.
And you'll be able to experience the entire first season story as narrated by Chris and Barry.
I see.
Which is cool, with some, cuts to action every now and then.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for like the first. I'm going to watch that vividly to see how many story contradictions I make.
Hold on.
I tried to keep the continuity.
I think
Solid.
I think it was pretty good actually. I don't think there was any real issues there, and you even seeded some later story
yeah,
stuff pretty early on. So I think
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I think
pretty
it's
sure it's all good.
I'm just hoping that we
sure there'll be
narrated it
something.
competently enough that it'll actually tell a consistent story. I think it should.
Nah, you did a pretty good job. Basically you covered the important stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
we
amazing,
kind of had
so-
to cut out a few things, but no, that'd be really cool. I can't wait to watch it back myself.
Yeah,
to
like
be
watch from the
honest.
start, be like, oh yeah.
What, guys? Why do you always have guts and gory as you're playing now? You know why? Nine Morons. It's because Barry is the person that now runs the stream in terms of getting the right buttons and pressing the right things. And sometimes he forgets to do things. Sometimes those things are forgotten consistently for now 4 weeks in a row.
Yeah, something like that.
Maybe we should get that
on
fixed.
that. I think so. No, well, you see, technically this game does take a lot of guts to play,
That's
and
true.
there is a lot of glory
There's
to be
glory
had.
to
So
be had.
technically it is still
Technically,
about guts
every
and
game we
glory.
play.
Yeah,
has guts and
absolutely.
glory.
Exactly right.
Good one. But no, it's a very good call. It also hurts our discoverability on Switch.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Soz.
We'll get that sorted, don't you worry. Next week, we're going to have, I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to be here, so we're going to get together. Honestly, I kind of just want to have like a chill week.
Shit week?
We're gonna have shit games week, and I reckon
We have Snowstormers?
we can do a Snowstormers maybe. But I was thinking maybe we can make a shit film.
Oh yeah, it's alright.
I want to kind of start to finish make just like the shittest film. Like actually like something like maybe like a 5-minute short film, and we'll actually like do it throughout the whole stream, and then at the ends we'll like put it together.
Yeah,
I reckon that could just be fun. And we'll act out all the characters.
we haven't got any like.
Doesn't matter. We're gonna green screen, so we
outfits.
can be in any location in the world.
But we're still gonna be us. We need different shirts or something. And that's
We'll
it.
just edit like hats or mustaches on.
Perfect.
It's not important. Don't worry.
That's fine. We'll deal with it at the time.
Oh jeez. All right. Thank you again, Metric Dun. We really appreciate
I
it.
told you you'd need that haberdashery.
See.
Yeah, that top hat.
He's got that appointment.
I've missed the appointment. See?
Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much. We will see you again next week.
No worries. Thanks everyone for joining us, watching, and we'll see you again next week. Bye. Have a good time. Hey, it's this.